FM, Hagåtña, Guam. The sound of Guam is Wave 105 FM.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Matt Piper. Los Angeles is on edge, bracing for more ferocious winds. This as 50,000 customers are still without power if their home is still standing. LA Fire Department Chief Kristen Crowley.
As the increasing wind event is upon us as we speak, the Los Angeles City Fire Department has maximized our resource capabilities and response capabilities. All available LAFD resources have been staffed.
CBS's Laura Hayfelli says red flag warnings for high winds begin at 4 a.m. local time tomorrow.
Fire crews are preparing to battle extreme wind conditions again. And while officials understand neighbors are anxious to get home, they are asking for patience as they continue to recover the remains of people who may have perished.
Fire origins are still being investigated. Dominic Choi is with the LAPD and says this of the largest fire, the Palisades.
There's been no definitive determination that it is arson at this point, but we're looking at every angle.
Police have made about 50 arrests for crimes linked to the fires. This just in, Oscar nominations have been delayed again due to the fires, now set for Thursday, January 23rd. Also, the nominees' luncheon will not be held. The award show is still set for March 2nd. A Gaza truce and hostage release could happen in this final week of President Biden's term.
We are now at a pivotal point in the negotiations for a hostage deal and ceasefire in Gaza.
National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, a third of the 100 hostages still held in Gaza are believed to be dead. CBS's Robert Legary on a federal judge saying the Justice Department can release special counsel Jack Smith's report on President-elect Donald Trump's 2020 election interference case.
U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon, based in Florida, declined a request from Walt Nauta, an aide to Trump, and Carlos de Oliveira, a former property manager at Trump's Mar-a-Lago property, to block the release of Smith's final report. She said she had an insufficient basis to grant injunctive relief. That means that Attorney General Merrick Garland is clear to release the first portion of Smith's report, which details Trump's alleged actions after the 2020 election.
Trump is set to take office in 1 week, but tomorrow his top cabinet picks will get grilled on Capitol Hill. That includes his defense secretary pick, Pete Hegseth, says correspondent Nancy Cordes.
Whether they have the information or not, there's still a lot of questions they're going to ask. They're going to ask about allegations of sexual misconduct. They're going to ask him, for example, are you facing any other lawsuits that we don't know about? Are you facing any other allegations that could interfere with your ability to run the largest military on Earth?
Performing at President-elect Trump's inauguration next Monday, Carrie Underwood, who's slated to sing America the Beautiful. This is CBS News.
A riddle brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? Progressive protects them both. It was an easy riddle. Learn more at Progressive.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-230-2777. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-230-2777, 800-230-2777, or biglou.com.
A star NFL player was thumbing through a book when TV cameras caught him on the sidelines of yesterday's playoff game.
During the Eagles' win over the Packers, Philadelphia receiver A.J. Brown was seen on the sidelines reading a book, Inner Excellence, by Jim Murphy. He tried to explain later it wasn't a one-time thing. He often went to one of the passages in it.
Yes, I always revert back to, like, the beginning of the book. It states, if you can just have a clear mind.
A clear mind, he says. Brown, who had just one reception for 10 yards in the game, says he often reads on the sidelines because football, he says, is 90% mental and 10% physical. For him, Inner Excellence is now the top bestseller on Amazon. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
NBC offered up a reminder of sorts during the NFL playoffs last night. NBC Sports debuted a promotional spot for its upcoming NBA coverage, which is coming back to the network. Matt Piper, CBS News.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hafa Adai, it's Paulie Suba of Wave 105 and host of The Bright Side. Get ready, because The Bright Side just got brighter. We're hitting the radio waves from 2 to 6 p.m. every weekday, baby. We'll dive into local politics and highlight what's happening in your community. Call into the show or leave a comment and share what's on your mind as we figure out these world problems together. We'll talk to the people that are moving and shaking things up. The Bright Side is brought to you by Vitali's Italian Restaurant, GTA Teleguam, Chili's, Good to Go, and Subway. Take a break from all of that shade and join the Bright Side on Wave 105.
One pill can kill. Fake pills often contain fentanyl. It only takes 2 milligrams of fentanyl, equivalent to a few grains of salt, to be lethal. Fake pills are often sold on social media platforms, making them available to anyone with a smartphone.
Talk early and often to youth about the dangers of misusing prescription drugs and the lethal dangers of counterfeit drugs laced with fentanyl.
Stay informed, stay safe. One pill can kill.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the radio stations of Glimpses Media Group, Wave 105 FM and Power 98. The best is yet to come. Happy New Year from Wave 105 FM.
Hafa Adai, Guam. Good morning and welcome back. It is a Tuesday, January 14th here on the Wave 105 FM, 10 minutes after 6 o'clock this morning, and you are tuned in to Mornings with Patti, being brought to you by Chili's Grill and Bar, Patch Tinting and Detailing, GTA, We Start With You, Subway, Eat Fresh, Bank Pacific. Where others place branches, we place roots. Good to Go, We Deliver. Download the app or order online at goodtogowedeliver.com. Take Care Insurance Company, Our Island, Your Health Plan. Your local headlines for you right now with Skylar Obispo from the Marianas Business Journal and the Guam Business Magazine, and it's brought to you by our friends at McDonald's, reminding you to take a well-deserved break and have a delicious oven-baked strawberry and cream pie. It is available at McDonald's, goes great with McCafe iced coffee for a limited time at McDonald's. I'm loving it. It's your local headline, Skylar Obispo, here on the Wave 105 FM.
Buenas and Hafa Adai. Here's the latest from the Marianas Business Journal. The Guam Visitors Bureau reported a 27% increase in revenues at its Board of Directors meeting held yesterday. As of December 2024, the fiscal year-to-date revenues came out to $7.6 million compared to $6 million in 2023. In 2024, GVB saw a 24% change in Gov Guam appropriation and large increases in membership dues and its consumption tax refund. Expenditures for the Bureau slightly fell at 7% at $5.7 million for 2024 compared to $6.2 million in 2023. However, equipment costs saw a substantially large increase by 338% from $39,000 to roughly $172,000. The Bureau will also be meeting soon to look over 6 applicants who applied for the vacant president and general manager position. In more news, the EPAL Point property, also known as the old GMH site, may be returning to the Perez family following the securing of land in Manilao for the planned construction of a new hospital. Adelup announced yesterday that Governor Lulian Guerrero proposed legislation to senators of the 30th Guam legislature to transfer ownership of the land to the heirs of Francisco D. Perez, who was the original landowner. Perez originally gave the government of Guam the property over 20 years ago for the construction of a hospital. The property measures approximately 10,120 square meters and is located just off of Route 14 next to Archbishop Felix Berto Flores Memorial Circle. Reporting for the Marianas Business Journal, the Wave 105, and Power 98, I'm Skylar Obispo.
Good morning, Guam. This is Joshua Shank from the NASA Weather Service in Teason with your island forecast for Tuesday, January 14th. Dry weather is expected today and will continue across Guam through the rest of the week as we remain in a trade wind pattern fairly typical for dry season. Winds are expected to become breezy Wednesday as the trades increase slightly across the region. Out in the open waters, seas are around 7 to 8 feet according to the buoys, but as winds increase Wednesday and another pulse of northerly swell moves through the region, seas will become choppy and may exceed 10 feet, potentially creating hazardous conditions to boats in the open waters or as they move through openings in the reef. The ongoing trade wind pattern is supporting surf along 9 feet along east-facing reefs, keeping the risk of rip currents high along east-facing reefs. As the north swell increases Wednesday, surf along north-facing reefs may reach up to 9 feet, which would cause the risk of rip currents to become high along north-facing reefs as well. Surf along south and west-facing reefs may reach up to 6 feet this week, supporting a moderate risk of rip currents, so practice caution whenever entering the water. For the latest forecast info from the NASA Weather Service, please visit our website at weather.gov/GUM. Have a great day and stay weather aware.
McDonald's is not new to chicken, so maybe stop questioning their chicken cred and get your hands on the McCrispy. Juicy fried chicken, buttery bun, unmatched pickle to chicken ratio. Yeah, they know what they're doing. In fact, we can honestly say they're not new to chicken, they're true to chicken. The McCrispy. Only at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hafa Adai, Guam, Johnny Atulai here, inviting you to tune in to Vet Talk Show every Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join the wave of conversation where Miss Bobby and I address veterans' concerns and benefits for you, only on Wave 105.1 FM.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show hosts, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
The best is yet to come. Happy New Year from Wave 105 FM.
Hafa Adai. Hafa Adai. Are we on?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Dicey. Hey. Good morning, Guam. I'm Dave Duenas, sitting in for the ever popular and a little bit under the weather right now.
Yes, sir.
Patti. And Patti, if you're listening out there, get well. Get back in here and do what you do best. Pleasure to be here. Again, good morning, Guam. What's the date? Tuesday.
That's right.
Taco Tuesday?
That's what we got.
Something like that.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'm a taco man.
We'll have that for breakfast, no problem.
You know, Dice, coming into the studio.
Okay.
Yeah, I said, oh, my goodness, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yes,
okay. I can do it.
Yes, you can.
I can.
Believe you.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's a great Tuesday. We're slowly getting through January. It's a rough month, man.
It's we're about halfway through.
Halfway through.
What's the date? The 14th?
14th.
Yeah, and you know, you ever notice, Dice, that the older you get, faster time flies.
It does.
It really does. I recall when I was a young man, 12, let's say about 12 or so. I mean, literally, a day literally took forever. It really did. It felt like forever. Now, a week flies by before you even know it. But, you know, I like it at my elder years because, you know, when I used to wait for, every 2 weeks you get paid.
Right.
But now it's like 2 weeks. Like, it's already payday? Wow. Oh, cool. Okay. Welcome to the show. Wave 105 is who we are. And just great to, coming to the studio this early in the morning. I like it because no traffic.
No
traffic.
I love it.
I did make an attempt to get me some coffee. Nice. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. I was telling Di off the air. I went to one of the local vendors, and to my surprise, and then again, I'm not surprised. Inflation, cost of living here in Guam is just outrageous. What used to cost $1 for coffee is now $2.50. Yeah, and I was like, what? And all I had was $2 on me, cash. I'm a card guy,
Right on.
I use the card all the time, so.
Right.
And my little, what do you call that little chip?
Yes.
Yeah, doesn't
Gotcha.
work on my card. So,
Okay.
So I told the lady at the counter. I said, all I got is $2. How much is your small coffee? $2.50. I said, oh my goodness. Can you pour some out and give me the rest? No, sir, we can't do that. I said, bummer. So I just politely smiled and got back in the car and left. I said, oh God. Anyway. Good morning, everyone. Again, I'm Dave Duenas, and then for Patti. And without coffee, and I'm going to do, I got a good producer here,
Thanks, Dave.
The ever so popular Dicey Dice. I listen to you and Patti every single morning. Every single morning. And I just get up,
We appreciate you.
I love being up to date with current events, number one. And today's no different. And speaking of, I wanted to try and start off lightly, but man, something caught my attention. Which, I don't know if you heard about it.
Exciting.
It's the boat people coming in, the Chinese from Saipan.
Got you. Yeah. That's where the fireworks came from. No.
No. Well, this story, I just saw it this morning.
All right, go for it.
A Chinese national that came in via boat. The Chinese boat people from Saipan. He was apprehended, captured, and FBI was questioning him, only to find out, and this is what really got me. He came to Guam, according to this illegal alien from Saipan, Chinese, said he came to Guam to escape drug dealers that he owed money to in Saipan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he got on a boat and landed in Guam. And supposedly, he told the FBI agents here in Guam that he was captured by one of the drug dealers when he got to Guam. Wow. So, and here's where the story gets really interesting. He told the FBI agent.
This is a good story.
Yeah, he told the FBI agent, he said, I came here to Guam because I owed a debt to a drug dealer. He was a drug user himself, the Chinese national. Okay. So he owed some money to the drug dealers, and when he got to Guam, he got captured by one of the drug dealers, who then told him to pay off your debt. You're going to sell methamphetamines, ice, on Guam to pay off your debt. So I said, wow, let alone we have a drug problem already. Now we got boat people from Saipan, Chinese, that are here, some of them selling drugs. Luckily this individual has been apprehended and is in custody. I've always been of the opinion that these Chinese boat people that come to our island illegally, a lot of them were caught. Some of them, we don't know. I don't know how many were not caught. But the ones that were caught, why are we going to house them, put them in our prisons, our DOC or a lockup, what have you, and feed them, take care of them? And when our facilities are already overcrowded with our own criminals, So I've always been an advocate of saying, you catch these guys, men and women, by the way, not just guys, but from coming in from Saipan on the boats. Now they're selling drugs on island, some of them. And I've always said, once they're apprehended, forget about, just deport them immediately. Give them a plane ticket and here, go back to wherever you came from. I wouldn't send them back to Saipan. That wouldn't be nice. But send them to wherever. Where you from? China? Or are you going back? Let your Chinese authorities deal with you. Anyway, thought that was really a really interesting story. You know, it's in the, I forgot what paper. It was Daily Post, I believe it was. Yeah, I think so. But, man, you know, our Department of Corrections is already overcrowded, big time. And now we have to house these folks. You know, I know they're federal, but, you know, the federal prisoners are also incarcerated at DOC. So, that said, how you doing?
that was a good story.
It is. I mean,
that's pretty wild.
It is. You know, what really upset me when I read it is the fact that, you know, we have a big-time problem with drugs in Guam.
Yes, sir.
That's not it's no secret. You know, ICE is rampant. You know, the price of methamphetamines has gone down to the point where it's affordable now for almost anybody. And, you know, the drug is definitely causing a lot of crime. A lot of the crimes that we have are drug-related. You know, these folks that commit crimes, they're doing it to get money so they can buy more drugs. So it goes hand in hand. So we got to do something about that. And luckily we got a good attorney general who's no nonsense when it comes to want to prosecute and incarcerate these drug dealers. And you know, yes, you know, we hear about we got to rehabilitate them.
Yeah,
and I agree. We need to have more facilities, you know, the halfway house or recovery centers. We need to build more of those to accommodate all the drug dealers that are apprehended and incarcerated, because eventually they're going to have to deal with their addiction. And what better way to ensure that we have enough of the recovery centers to accommodate them. So that's something that I'm really on top of as well. What else is going on? You been to the movies lately?
Oh, yes.
The theaters?
Yeah, Gladiator 2. Gladiator 2 is a must-see. Gladiator
Really?
2.
Really?
Did you like part 1? I don't know.
I never saw part 1.
Maximus!
I haven't gone to a theater, movie
what?
theater, in years.
Dave, we're going to the movies, Dave. We
I
are going to
should.
the movies.
You know, I'm one of those Netflix.
You're not a popcorn guy.
I think that's one of the reasons why I don't go anymore. You know, it's not
That's
because
fair.
of the popcorn.
That's fair.
It's
That's
because
fair.
inflation has just gotten to.
I understand.
Man, just to get the popcorn, the drink, and the candy or what have you, it's more than the cost of the actual fee to get in. So I was like, I took my daughter just years ago, and I could imagine now what the prices are, but. You know, high cost of living has just gotten to the point now that I don't even know how people can afford to go to the movies, let alone anything else. I just saw in the paper today as well.
All right.
Young lady went to one of the local grocery stores. Not the bottom of her cart, her grocery cart, wasn't even filled up. Not even the bottom. $113. It was like, oh, and I believe it. You know. I really, really do. I just don't know. You know, the cost of living here has just gotten out of hand, and I don't know. What can we do about it? Maybe lower the BPT? Shh, don't tell anybody. Lower the BPT. I've been an advocate for that for the longest time. You know, we got a new 38 Guam legislature made up of 9 Republicans, and 6 Democrats. Hopefully, you know, the 37 have entertained trying to lower the BPT down to 4%, but it never took traction. So hopefully, you know, in line with the cost of living being so high, people would argue, Dice, that if you lower the BPT, that the retailers are not necessarily going to lower the price.
Okay.
You know, that's always been said. You know, lower the BPT down, and that would translate to the retailers, mom and pop and the big supermarkets, to lower their prices. We hope they will, but if they don't, then we lower the BPT, which lowers the revenues in taxes that the government receives. So if they don't lower their prices for the consumers, then it didn't do anything. It just lowered the coffers of the Guam budget. But, you know, I had an idea. I said, you know, the legislature, if they do in fact lower the BPT, maybe what they can do, you know, maybe you can call it, some people might go, well, that's kind of like threatening the retailers. You know, we lower the BPT, if we do, and then if you don't lower your prices to the consumers, how about this? If you don't lower it, we'll just raise it right back up. You know what I mean? People said, Dave, you can't do that because you're basically, you know, threatening the retailers. I said, well, if they don't lower the prices to the consumers, we gave them a break by lowering the BPT to 4%, then, you know, the shoe fits, then, you know, we'll just raise it back up. You're not going to lower it. Anyway, just thinking outside the box. I like doing that every now and then. You ever heard, I've said this in previous shows.
Okay.
That, you know, we got 15 senators.
15, gotcha.
Yeah, we got our governor, we got our congressman.
Exciting.
And I've always said, and I said this the last time I sat in on Paulie's show.
Okay.
Hi, Paulie, if you're out there listening. Good morning. But, you know, our elected leaders do their best to come up with bills and laws that would benefit our community. But I've always said it, and I'll say it again, that it could be you, the people of Guam, the people that's listening to me right now. You might have an idea that you can put into one of our elected leaders, and they'll say, hey, that's a good idea. Yeah, it might be your idea that does the trick. So, anyway, I'm kind of losing track of time. Are we good on time?
Let's go, man. I got you.
Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Yeah. Anyway, talking about that and a bunch of other stuff that's happening on our island, you know, if I can get my phone, my smartphone is actually being smarter than me right now.
It happened.
Before I go any further, I do this every show I do.
All right.
I want to wish someone out there is having a birthday today.
Got it.
Someone.
Okay.
And
are you going to sing to him?
No.
No. Okay,
no.
okay, I got it. All
but
right, okay.
I normally would have the producer do that.
Oh, yeah, we don't want to lose any listeners right now. It's kind of early.
But, you know, I'm always, I know there's someone having a birthday or celebrating an anniversary. So this is going out to you. As you sit at home, maybe in the car, getting ready to go to work, or already on the roads, heading to work, or getting ready, and you're listening, and today is your birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. It's your special day. Matter of fact, take the day off. I do that all on my birthday.
Yeah.
I take the day off.
Take the day off.
I do.
Take the day off.
You know,
you deserve it.
I think so.
You deserve it.
You know, when I'm a veteran. I'm an Air Force veteran. Now, even when I was in the Air Force.
Right.
My birthday would roll around. True story. And I would call my sergeant up and say, hey, Sergeant, I'm not coming in today. Why not? I said, oh, I'm not feeling well. Did you know if you, in the military, when you say you're not feeling well, they can't deny you. They can't say, no, you got to come to work. No, you can take off. They can't. So that was my trick. But it always worked. On my birthday, I would do that. Anyway, I digress. Happy birthday to every one of you that's celebrating a birthday. And I would encourage you, you know, what's our number? 922-1051-1052. You got a birthday wish or an anniversary, you want to shout out to someone that's celebrating, give Dice a call. We'd be more than happy to say happy birthday to them. And if we try hard enough, maybe we might get Dice to at least hum a few tunes. I don't know. She might.
Might drum something for you. I got you.
You know, it's really, you know, coming in here to the studio at 6 in the morning. I was out in the parking lot at 10 till. Oh, man, it's still dark. It definitely is. Luckily, you left the door open for me.
I got you, man.
Because I was calling.
I was worried about the weather. I can't have you in the rain, man.
I was calling you at the number. Kept ringing and ringing. I said, oh, my God. I hope she left the door open for me. But she did. So I'm here.
No worries.
32 minutes after
All
6.
right, let's
Good
go.
morning, bottom of the hour. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
After over 10 years, I think it's time to freshen things up. Attention class of 2025. The next evolution of the Power 98 Senior Challenge is coming. Are you ready to step up? Stay tuned for details.
Hafa Adai, Guam, Johnny Atulai here, inviting you to tune in to Vet Talk Show every Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join the wave of conversation where Miss Bobby and I address veterans' concerns and benefits for you, only on Wave 105.1 FM.
Hafa Adai, Guam. Good morning and welcome back. It's Mornings with Patti here on the Wave 105 FM, 6:32 on a Tuesday morning. We're streaming live online on the World Wide Web at thewave105.com. Like, subscribe, and follow our YouTube channel. That is Wave 105.1 FM Guam. Your local headlines for you right now with Skylar Obispo from the Marianas Business Journal and the Guam Business Magazine, brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Buenas and Hafa Adai. Here's the latest from the Marianas Business Journal. The Guam Police Department announced upgrades to its over 30-year-old emergency communication system yesterday at a press conference in Adelup. Motorola Solutions will be partnering with the government of Guam to roll out expanded coverage to the first responder land mobile radio system and provide added reliability network-wide. First responders will have access to the FirstNet network, which allows them to communicate through cellular and internet coverage in the event traditional radios become unavailable. In addition, the improved systems will provide added security against cyber threats, among a number of other benefits. According to Governor Lulian Guerrero, the system upgrade costs $11.5 million, but said it's an investment for the lives of the people. In more news, the Office of Public Accountability has released its findings on the Guam Department of Revenue and Taxation's handling of nonprofit organizations. OPA stated that its objectives were to evaluate DRT's efficiency and whether it follows Guam law relating to NPOs. They also verified if nonprofit organizations maintain their tax-exempt status, as well as being compliant to all tax laws and reporting requirements. Of the 1,536 NPOs under DRT's purview, 625 were active and 911 were declared inactive or revoked as of August 2023. The audit found deficiencies in DRT's monitoring and registration of NPOs, manpower shortages, and the unavailability of required documents. Reporting for the Marianas Business Journal, the Wave 105, and Power 98, I'm Skylar Obispo.
There are so many reasons to say yes to priority banking from First Hawaiian Bank. There's the ATM rebates, the exclusive access, the discounts, the fee waivers. Honestly, I'd keep going, but I think I'm running out of time. To hear more, talk to a banker or go to fhb.com/priority. It feels good to go priority. Terms and conditions apply. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
Indeed. Good morning going out to our friends at First Hawaiian Bank. It's 6:35 in the morning. Your time check is being brought to you by our friends at Wendy's. And Wendy's has something new on their menu. The Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger. Try their deliciously indulgent sandwich made with juicy beef, crispy applewood smoked bacon, savory roasted mushrooms, cheese, and a creamy garlic spread, all on a soft toasted bun. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's today. We're going to go ahead and hit the streets, Guam. This will be your first look at Tuesday morning's Real Deal Traffic Report for you, Guam. We're looking at the northern side of the island. We're looking at Route 3 right now. Camp Blas has some north and both southbound traffic, so just a little heads up getting around Finagayan this morning. Working your way around Astumbo Elementary, you got some north and southbound delays. East Sangsong Road looks really nice and clear right now. Around Ukidu High School, or GRMC, that's going to be the Guam Regional Medical City, you will find some tighter hot pockets there. Additional delays in traffic, Beneventi Middle School this morning. As I mentioned, East Sangsong Road, for those of you that are hitting East Liguan, Machechi Road has got some north and both southbound traffic there. We would like to remind all the motorists to please watch your speed limit in the school zones. Also in the villages, we do have some striping projects that will begin at 7 o'clock this morning. They'll be on Route 2 in Haggett and Route 4 in Talofofu. So the work crews will be out, so please proceed with caution and remain alert for the traffic control signs and be on the lookout for our work crews. Your Real Deal Traffic Report from Mornings with Patti here on the Wave 105 FM.
Say goodbye to slow internet and hello to GTA Air Fiber. With cutting-edge technology, Air Fiber delivers ultra-fast, reliable internet at speeds up to 500 megabits per second, and there's no need for underground cables. That means faster download, smoother streaming, and no interruptions for as low as $75 a month. Sign up today and get up to 6 months free on a 2-year commitment. Stop waiting for better internet. Switch to GTA Air Fiber today. Call us or visit gta.net for more information. Terms and conditions apply. GTA, we start with you.
After over 10 years, I think it's time to freshen things up. Attention class of 2025. The next evolution of the Power 98 Senior Challenge is coming. Are you ready to step up? Stay tuned for details.
The talk you want to hear. Wave 105 FM.
Coming out the gate with the heat.
All right. Hey,
Up
you look
a
good.
day.
You look sharp. You look sharp. You're good. You're
I
good.
look
You're
sharp?
good. You're
Yeah.
super sharp.
Yeah.
Shinarp. How does Frank do it? Shinarp.
Shinarp.
Shinarp. Shinarp.
Frank the Crank?
Frank the Crank. Shinarp.
You know, I got to get me one of those snipes.
They're cool, aren't they?
Well, you know, I'm not really a cook, but I heard they're really good.
They're really good.
You know.
They got some
I
nice
hear about it.
cleavers. Really good stuff.
Well, welcome back to the show with Wave 105.1 FM. I'm Dave Duenas sitting in for Patti in Mornings with Patti. And I am so lucky to have the bestest of the bestest producer. Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
come into the
I appreciate
studio,
you,
she
Dave.
got everything all ready. Okay, I got this ready. You want water? You want this? I said, wow.
Want to make sure you're comfortable, sir.
Man, no wonder why Patty's just like Patty's like, man. No, you are really something.
I appreciate you, Dave.
We've worked together in the previous
absolutely.
station, but
yeah.
but you never produced any of the shows that I did. But
this will be a first.
now I know why Patti raves about you. You're just awesome.
We try.
I'm telling you, folks. To do a 4-hour show.
Jeremy's got big shoes. Those are big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
So, Jeremy, he put his work out for me. So
Yeah.
Good morning, Jeremy.
Yeah. Good morning, Jeremy.
Good morning, Jeremy.
Yeah, I've had,
I've always wanted to wake up at 4 a.m. I had nothing better to do.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeremy.
And you do your thing over there at the power side as well.
Sir. Yes, sir.
I miss doing that kind of radio. I really did.
Was that was your stream? Okay.
That was my thing back in the day. I pretty much worked every station in Guam, pretty much.
Beautiful.
And it was all music.
Okay.
And I get called all the time because I was a Bee Gees. You have to follow the format.
Got you. Okay.
And I'll look at the format, the songs they tell you to play, and I say, okay, I'm going to play the Bee Gees. And then the program director would call me and say, Dave, you're playing Bee Gees again. That's not on the format. We're a hit. We're a 100 station. I said, okay, can't help it, man. Anyway, hey,
we're good.
I got a trivia for you.
Okay, let's do it.
Guess what happens in 7 days?
In 7 days. All right, hold on. 14, 21, January 21st. All right, January 21st is the. It's going to be a good 21st. What is it? What's January 21st?
Our 45th president.
Okay.
Will be sworn in.
I got you. Okay, see, I wouldn't have got that. All right, yeah, I would.
Yeah, no gift for you.
I've never. I don't get the prize.
You don't get a burger. You don't get nothing.
I don't get nothing.
But yeah, I just saw that.
January 21st. Okay.
Yeah, President Trump, our 45th president, second time he's president. He gets a lot of flack, but I kind of like Trump. I really do. I like him for certain reasons. I don't agree with everything he does, but I do like the fact that these world leaders that are kind of like to cause trouble with us. I'm talking about Little Rocket Man, maybe Mr. North Korea guy, Chinese, and the other countries that are not too kind with the U.S. Trump kind of puts a little bit of fear in them. You know, they say, we're not going to mess with that guy. That guy is unpredictable, to say the least. You know, you heard what he's trying to do now. He's trying to take over Greenland. He's trying to take over the Panama Canal.
I heard.
You know, I mean, talking about thinking outside the box. This guy is, I'm going to take Greenland. And then if they don't want, well, I'm thinking of using the military. We're just like, what? I don't know. Putin, Russian president, didn't take too kindly to that. He was like, luckily we're just talking now. It's just words. But basically he was giving a hint to our 45th incoming president that I wouldn't advise you do that. That's going to create instability in the region. And it will. You know, but then again, hopefully he does something good for the territories, our island of Guam. I hope he does something really good, you know. I really do. Oh, I heard you said on the traffic report they're working on the roads.
Yes, sir.
In Hagat?
That is correct. That's where.
What exactly are they doing? Do you
They're
know?
going to do some striping projects.
There you go.
They're striping.
I like that.
They're striping in Hagat and Talofofu.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you, DPW.
More visibility.
You know,
Better visibility.
You know, doing the shows that I do, that's one of the very often brought up. You know, the markers, the striping. You know, the markers, the same thing.
Right.
Markers, the painting of the, dividing the lanes so you can actually see where you're going. I travel certain roadways at Guam that, specifically in Jigo, and I'm telling you, especially during a heavy downpour, you cannot tell what lane you're on. Literally. I mean, I'll be really, really scared, you know, when I'm there. So, good news that they're striping in Hagat. Come to Dedido. Come to Dedido. When you're done, come to Dedido. And while you're on Dedido, just keep going up to Jigo as well. You know, it's about time. You know, it's been a long time coming. And, again, it's just one of my pet peeves. And I'm not shy to tell it like it is. I really do. You know, because I get people, you know, they know I do this radio thing every so often. And they said, Dave, when you get in there, talk about the roads. Talk about all the potholes. I said, I will. Because I traveled those roads, and I'm telling you, I'm in the wrong business. I should have opened up an auto repair shop.
You're going to be changing shocks.
Exactly.
That's a lot of shocks to change, man.
I had to change mine recently. And,
okay.
You know, I live in Dedido, Dice, and the only road, and I'll say this again, the only road in Dedido that's actually nice, got the markers, dividers, you can tell what lane you're on, no potholes, is Waisengsong.
True.
Waisengsong. That's it.
True.
You go, as soon as you make a left or right into the inner roads of the village, I'm talking giant. I'm not talking these little I'm talking humongous potholes. And, you know, the mayors do what they can. They go out there and they do what I call Band-Aid. You know, they put a little, what do you call that, white gravel? What's that word?
The Cuscow.
There you go.
Okay.
They put that.
Mm-hmm.
That don't last too long. And a heavy downpour, for some reason, it comes right out. So it never gets fixed. The secondary roads, which, again, is another one of my pet peeves. 922-1051. You got something you want to talk about? You know, we'll tailor that to that conversation. Just give us a call. 1052 as well. If 1051 is busy, give me a call. If you want to talk about the roads. Before I forget.
Okay. Do share.
Somebody told me about this.
Okay.
Actually, it was you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
About the insurance.
Insurance. Yes.
Sean,
That's
freshman
right.
senator.
That's right.
Sean Gumatautau.
He sure did.
Is introducing, I think he introduced it already. You know, yesterday, Monday, was the first day all the senators were able to put in their bills. And Sean Gumatautau has a bill to increase the insurance You got the details on that?
I do, actually. Okay, let me shoot you a copy.
Is it like 10,000 to what? How much?
I think it was like 100.
To 100? Maybe it's in between.
Hold on, let me pull this up. Let me get it for you.
But you know, for you GovGuam retirees that have insurance, life insurance, I think that's a great bill. You know, I'm a GovGuam, formerly with the GovGuam. I do have the 10,000. 10,000, as far as I know, is free. There's no premiums that you have to pay monthly. And as you increase the amounts, then you have to pay. So as DICE looks up the information, if it's 100,000, I would imagine there's a fee for that. But you know, it's worth it. It's for the security of your family. You know, should anything, God willing, don't happen to you, but should it happen, they'll be taken care of with insurance. So maybe even later on during the show, maybe during the news break, we'll see if we can get
all right, I
the
just
good
sent
senator.
you I just delivered you a copy on your WhatsApp.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you do have a copy of it. That would be from Senator Sean Gubatauta.
Yeah, and you know, I love, personally,
Okay.
I just love getting it straight from the authors of these bills, because believe me, they can explain it 100% better than I can. I'm almost guarantee that. But during the break, we'll see what we can do. Our awesome producer, I think she got the good senator's number. We'll give him a call and see if we can get him to call in and give us a little bit more detail about this insurance bill that he has. Speaking of bills, and again, the senators, yesterday was the first day they were able to upload their bills into the system at the legislature. One of the bills that I was able to see is going to be his first bill, and I'm talking about Senator Will Parkinson. He wants to extend the $100 GPA credit for an additional 3 months. He's going to try. Do the government of Guam have money to accommodate? I think it's 15 point something million dollars for 3 months of $100 GPA extension. And I hope we do, you know. I hope we do have enough money. I like the $100. I really do. Heck, I think at one point in the 37th Guam legislature it was brought up, because he brought it up in the 37th, and it was like, oh, we don't have the money now. So I think he was like, okay, you know, let's make it $50 a month then. I say anything. I'll take anything you give me. So, Senator Parkinson, I hope that bill, you will be introducing it. That is your first bill, and good luck with that. I hope that goes through. It's all about finding the funding source. If we can find the money, you know, and hopefully it'll be like 2024. You know, we got surplus. when we have surplus, guess what the legislator do? Spend it. Yeah. And spend it in the right way. You know, giving it back to you, the people of Guam, the taxpayer, is the way to go. So, I like that bill. I hope the good senator's bill makes it all the way to the governor, and hopefully she signs it, you know, because she can veto any bill that comes to her desk, and she has done so in the past. Speaking of the past and bills that she has vetoed, one of them I recall was a bill that would take, I think it's even less than 1% of the revenues of the general fund of Guam, and give that less than 1% as the budget for the Office of Public Accountability, the OPA. And it passed in the legislature. Unfortunately, it got vetoed by the governor. The 37th, I forgot the author. I think the author was either Joanne Brown or Telotani. I apologize. I don't recall exactly who was the author. But, you know, the Attorney General, instead of going every year like they do for the budget, they have to go in front of the senators and give them why they're requesting for X amount of budget. And most times they don't get the full budget that they request. So to the BJ Cruz, the public accountant, said, why don't you give me less than 1% of the overall Guam budget and let that be my bill so that we don't have to trouble you and the office can run more fluently every year instead of having to go in front of the legislature and argue for their budget. So I said, okay. And I don't know, would the 38th Guam legislature entertain a possible override of that bill? I would think they might. They just might. 9 Republicans, 6 Democrats. Are they all going to be voting under party lines, as they call it? The likelihood of that happening, not really. Even the 9 Republicans, are they always going to be on the same page and vote together? No, there's always going to be 1 or 2 that says, no, I don't agree with it. But, that's the process. They go through introducing the bill, it goes to the committee, then it gets out of committee, then it goes to the floor, then they debate on the bill with amendment to the amendment, with the amendment to the amendment to the amendment. Yeah, that's how it goes. But anyway, what time is it, Dave?
We got 6:53, sir.
6:53.
6:53 in the morning.
You call me sir again, I'll fire you.
I got you. But I did pull this up. Let's see. Senator Sean Gumatautau, if approved, the senator's first bill reverts the BBT, the rate from 5% to 4%.
There you go. I hope so.
Okay, that's what we got, 5 to 4%. And his second measure was to increase life insurance benefits from $10,000 to $100,000 for public safety and law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty.
Oh, for law enforcement. Okay. Yeah, that's good, but we were talking, just to reverse track here, we were talking briefly, Dice and I, about this bill that Senator Gumatautau is going to be introducing, and it's a good thing to lower the BPT. It's been tried a few times, and it never caught traction. So I, for one, just me, I know the government's position. They always, because I hear it all the time from them. Nope, we ain't going to lower it down because if we do, it's going to reduce the revenues of the government of Guam. I said, okay. Then my argument would be, you ever heard of do more with less? Yeah, and it's clear to me that if we have a surplus every single quarter, like we did last year, 2024, that tells me we're collecting more revenues than projected, a surplus. And it's really clear that that means you can lower the BPT, And again, as I said earlier in the program, you lower the BPT and hopefully the retailers, your big supermarkets, stores, department stores will lower the prices of their items for the consumers. It's supposed to work that way, but I hear that sometimes they don't. They say, no, they're used to paying that price already. We're not going to lower anything. Then I said, okay, if you don't lower it, we'll just raise it back up then. How's that? So you pay more. BPT. Business privilege tax. So, see how that goes. I'm just the guy behind the mic right now, and I just say what comes to mind, because I get, at the when you go to your family and friends and you're chatting, we talk about these stuff, and I'm sure you do at where you reside. You're at the dinner table or maybe having a social gathering, barbecue at the house, and these topics come up. Everything from crime to drugs to the high cost of living to the schools, the road. I mean, everything comes up, and that's normal. But I encourage you, especially you, the listeners of this station, and I know you're out there. You're listening. You could be in your car right now. Hi, how you doing? Drive careful. Get to work safe. We're heading towards the top of the hour. Let me see here. Yeah, a couple more minutes. And I'm just having a ball sitting in for Patti. If you have not been living under a rock this morning, Patti's under the weather, and we hope for a speedy recovery, get her back behind the mic, and get her back to doing what she does best. And that's giving you all the information that she possibly can, entertaining you, and, get back. In the meantime, I'm Dave Duenas, sitting in for Patti in the morning with the awesome producer, Dice, giving me everything I need to ensure that we have a smooth show. We got, 3 hours now? 1 hour is almost gone. I do have a special guest coming in, hopefully around the 7 o'clock hour.
Okay.
And we'll leave it at that. And when he comes in, we'll discuss what we need to discuss and let you, the people of Guam, know what's going on your island, our island, Guam. Okay? We're going to take a short break. Top of the hour. We are KGUM, Agana, Guam.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Matt Piper. A rare warning is going out to Los Angeles aimed at seizing attention for dangerous winds. The hot pink letters from the National Weather Service warn of the extreme wildfire risk beginning at 4 a.m. local time tomorrow. This as causes of the deadly wildfires are still being investigated.
We're looking at everything.
L.A. County Sheriff Robert Luna says they haven't ruled out arson as a cause of the wildfires. Another possibility is a small fireworks blaze in Pacific Palisades on New Year's Day may have reignited. Meanwhile, the Eaton fire may have been sparked by transmission towers. L.A. Fire Chief Kristen Crowley promised a multi-agency task force will find the cause and origin of all of the fires.
To make sure the community knows exactly where and how and when all of this occurred.
Matt Bigler for CBS News, Los Angeles.
At the State Department moments ago, President Biden delivering a speech on his foreign policy accomplishments in his final week as president.
America is stronger. Our alliances are stronger. Our adversaries and competitors are weaker. We have not gone to war to make these things happen.
He's hoping his greatest foreign achievement may happen this week.
We are close to a deal.
National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan.
It can get done this week.
He said President Biden laid out the framework for the deal last June.
That the parties right now are working off of to try to close.
It includes
prisoner exchange for hostages. It includes a surge of humanitarian assistance once the guns go quiet.
They've also worked with the incoming administration to present a united message which says
it is in the American national security interest, regardless of party, to get this deal done.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, the White House.
William McCool of the U.S. Secret Service on plans for security at next week's presidential inauguration in Washington.
The Secret Service will bring agents and other specialists from field offices across the country to provide a full slate of visible and invisible security measures.
President-elect Donald Trump and Vice President-elect J.D. Vance are scheduled to be sworn in at noon, followed by the official farewell for President Biden and Vice President Harris. As the South cleans up from snowfall that they are not used to, the northern part of the country is dealing with some really cold temps. Meteorologist Craig Allen.
There is a cold weather advisory in effect right through today with wind chills as low as minus 35 or so across the Dakotas from Minot to Bismarck, North Dakota, over to Fargo and into the northern half of Minnesota.
NFL star Patrick Mahomes and his wife Brittany just posting on Instagram the birth of their third child, a girl named Golden Ray. 1 hour left of stocks. The Dow is up 272. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Out today in the journal Nature Medicine, a new study from NYU Langone Health and the NYU Grossman School of Medicine, which finds Americans' risk of developing dementia after the age of 55 is 42%, more than double older estimates. That risk translates into an estimated 500,000 cases this year, rising to 1 million new cases a year by 2060, according to the study. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder has more.
There's a lot that the U.S. could be doing now. This ranges from efforts to help improve early detection, reduce risk, and care for people with dementia. This should include interventions to make it easier for people to have healthy diets and to be able to exercise. Other measures include the expansion of specialized housing and memory care units, more use of remote monitoring and in-home technologies, more support for caregivers, and of course, more research on the prevention and treatment of dementia.
Matt Piper, CBS News.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hafa Adai, Guam, Johnny Atulai here, inviting you to tune in to Vet Talk Show every Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join the wave of conversation where Miss Bobby and I address veterans' concerns and benefits for you, only on Wave 105.1 FM.
Indeed, Guam, Hafa Adai, good morning and welcome back. It is Mornings with Patti here on the Wave 105 FM. And the show this morning is being brought to you by Chili's Grill and Bar, Patch Tinting and Detailing. GTA, we start with you. Subway, Eat Fresh. Bank Pacific, where others place branches, we place roots. Good to Go, We Deliver. Download the app or order online at goodtogowedeliver.com. Take Care Insurance Company, our island, your health plan. Your local headlines for you right now with Skylar Obispo from the Marianas Business Journal and the Guam Business Magazine, and it's all brought to you by McDonald's. Take a well-deserved break and have a delicious oven-baked strawberry and cream pie at McDonald's today. And it goes great with McCafe iced coffee for a limited time. Only at McDonald's. I'm loving it. Your local headlines. Good morning, Guam. It's Skylar Obispo here on the Wave 105 FM.
Buenas and Hafa Adai. Here's the latest from the Marianas Business Journal. The Guam Visitors Bureau reported a 27% increase in revenues at its Board of Directors meeting held yesterday. As of December 2024, the fiscal year-to-date revenues came out to $7.6 million compared to $6 million in 2023. In 2024, GVB saw a 24% change in Guam appropriation and large increases in membership dues and its consumption tax refund. Expenditures for the Bureau slightly fell at 7% at $5.7 million for 2024 compared to $6.2 million in 2023. However, equipment costs saw a substantially large increase by 338% from $39,000 to roughly $172,000. The Bureau will also be meeting soon to look over 6 applicants who applied for the vacant president and general manager position. In more news, the EPAL Point property, also known as the old GMH site, may be returning to the Perez family following the securing of land in Manilao for the planned construction of a new hospital. Guadalupe announced yesterday that Governor Lulian Guerrero proposed legislation to senators of the 38th Guam legislature to transfer ownership of the land to the heirs of Francisco D. Perez, who was the original landowner. Perez originally gave the government of Guam the property over 20 years ago for the construction of a hospital. The property measures approximately 10,120 square meters and is located just off of Route 14 next to Archbishop Felix Berto Flores Memorial Circle. Reporting for the Marianas Business Journal, The Wave 105, and Power 98, I'm Skylar Obispo.
Good morning, Guam. This is Joshua Shank from the NASA Weather Service in Teason with your island forecast for Tuesday, January 14th. Dry weather is expected today and will continue across Guam through the rest of the week as we remain in a trade wind pattern fairly typical for dry season. Winds are expected to become breezy Wednesday as the trades increase slightly across the region. Out in the open waters, seas are around 7 to 8 feet according to the buoys, but as winds increase Wednesday and another pulse of northerly swell moves through the region, seas will become choppy and may exceed 10 feet, potentially creating hazardous conditions to boats in the open waters or as they move through openings in the reef. The ongoing trade wind pattern is supporting surf along 9 feet along east-facing reefs, keeping the risk of rip currents high along east-facing reefs. As the north swell increases Wednesday, surf along north-facing reefs may reach up to 9 feet, which would cause the risk of rip currents to become high along north-facing reefs as well. Surf along south and west-facing reefs may reach up to 6 feet this week, supporting a moderate risk of rip currents, so practice caution whenever entering the water. For the latest forecast info from the NASA Weather Service, please visit our website at weather.gov/GUM. Have a great day and stay weather aware.
McDonald's is not new to chicken, so maybe stop questioning their chicken cred and get your hands on the McCrispy. Juicy fried chicken, buttery bun, unmatched pickle to chicken ratio. Yeah, they know what they're doing. In fact, we can honestly say they're not new to chicken, they're true to chicken. The McCrispy. Only at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hafa Adai, Guam. Good morning and welcome back. Let's go ahead and hit the streets and let's see how traffic is doing this morning. It is your real deal traffic report. We're looking at the JFK Kmart intersection along Route 1 this morning. You will find a couple of hot pockets there. Teason traffic is moving really nice and smooth. No congestion along Route 16 or Route 10. However, we would like to remind all the motorists we have school buses making the round, so please watch your speed limit getting around the school zones and in the villages. DPW, our crew will be doing some striping this morning. You'll find our friends along Route 2 in Hoggett, as well as Talafofu, Route 4. We got some striping projects going on, and there will be some pavement resurfacing projects going along Jose Herrera Street and Lucas Rodriguez Street, both in Hoggett. That kicks off at 7 o'clock this morning, and it's going to work its way towards the 4 o'clock hour. So residents, please proceed with caution and remain alert for all the traffic control signs. And just look out for the work crews. Your real deal traffic report for Mornings with Patti here on the Wave 105 FM.
Always here to help you. This island is our home. Through the years, we've been a friend to the neighbors we have known. Now we're banking on the future. More services to choose. Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place roots.
Hafa Adai, it's Paulie Suba of Wave 105 and host of The Bright Side. Get ready, because The Bright Side just got brighter. We're hitting the radio waves from 2 to 6 p.m. every weekday, baby. We'll dive into local politics and highlight what's happening in your community. Call into the show or leave a comment and share what's on your mind as we figure out these world problems together. We'll talk to the people that are moving and shaking things up. The Bright Side is brought to you by Vitali's Italian Restaurant, GTA Teleguam, Chili's, Good to Go, and Subway. Take a break from all of that shade and join The Bright Side on Wave 105.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show hosts, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back. Dice, who's singing that?
Oh, Ben Lomlom, sir.
Ben Lomlom?
The great Ben Lomlom. Yes,
Wow,
sir.
my
yes,
buddy.
sir. The great. You got to put great in there.
Oh.
You have to put the word great, sir.
Okay.
Nobody wears a cowboy hat better than he does. I tell you.
No.
He does that. He
I
wears-
didn't even recognize that. It must be one of his new songs.
You gotta get character to wear that.
Hi. Well, hey.
He knows.
I apologize. In the studio. Oh, first and foremost, I'm Dave Duenas, sitting in for Patti Arroyo with Patti in the morning, with the ever energetic Dice.
Thank you, sir.
And with me in the studio, thank you, Mr. Attorney General. Doug
Thank you,
Miley.
Dave. And thank you, Dice.
Hey, President. Thank you.
And
Good
you come in
morning,
so
good
loud at mine.
Yeah. All right. Not loud and clear. All right. We're
Better
good.
than mine, dude.
Got to make sure they get my quote correct. You know.
How you been?
I've been okay. You know, doing our job, fulfilling the people's legal work, protecting the people.
I
We need to.
appreciate it. We need it.
Yeah.
You know, we definitely. You know, you've heard it before. You know, we're safer now than we were 4 or 5 years ago.
That's right, and that's the police department, the AG's office. You know, all law enforcement. We're working together with the courts and the juries. Quite frankly, it ultimately ends in the people of Guam, and that's why I say to all my prosecutors that trust the jury. You know, make sure that you present the case and, you know, guilty, not guilty, but we're protecting the people, especially the crime victims, because that's what brings these criminal cases to us. Then we got the other civil matters like, is the government spending the money properly pursuant to the law?
Sure.
And, you know, it always goes down to the people, Dave. It's the people's legislature. We elect those senators to pass our laws.
We do. We sure do. And I got high hopes for the 38. They haven't really. I don't think they haven't had a full session yet. But
no, not yet.
But I, optimistic to say the least. And but then again, we'll see. We'll see.
You know, the high hopes for what they call the values of the Republican Party, and my roots come from the Republican Party. My uncle Kurt was the one that helped to start the Republican Party. It was a different name back then, but I mean, they started that.
Territorial?
And, right. I think it was a territorial. Right. And then, but the Democrats and the Republicans have shared values. And I think right now we need to join together as a community because Guam is Democrat.
Thank you.
We're always talking about the values of the Democrat Party, especially the Bill Clinton era. There were overlap. But like in the D.C., the Democrat National Party, they were handed their lunch because they went socialist communist. And it's incompatible with a capitalist democracy to be like a China or a Venezuela, let alone Russia, which collapsed, right? Their Soviet Union. So, you know, Dave, this sounds like the stuff you read in book and social studies, but it comes down to how it affects our quality of life. And I think that's where I as an Attorney General, look back to who put me in this position to be remembering that I need to be as humble as the day that I won. Because I didn't spend any real money on this election. This is the second term. I knew I had something to give, 33 years as an attorney. The value system that I was taught in was consistent with Republicans and Democrats. And what is the job of the Attorney General? Simply to enforce the law. And I add a statement at the end of it, and make sure you help the people, which is a client. The Attorney General, unlike the governor, she's a chief executive. The Attorney General literally is an attorney that has a client, and it is the people of Guam that in October or November 2022 went to a ballot and said that they wanted a Moylan administration to clean up Guam. And we've been doing that ever since we came in. And it's a bunch of logistics. Get a law firm, get good prosecutors, investigators, paralegals, the whole staff of 200 people together, so that the work product and the output needs to be, are you helping or hurting this community? And we're given a budget. We haven't changed the amount of money. They gave us the same budget that they did last year. You give me a certain amount of money, I set the goals, and we achieve it. And I don't like excuses.
And you work within your means.
Right, exactly. It's like, it's what a manager does. And the
Exactly.
AG is part manager, part attorney. So what comes to my office, I'm aware of all 8 divisions on what's going on. I know the weaknesses of the office. The greatest weakness is we don't have enough attorneys on Guam. And that's been proven by the Supreme Court of Guam. Hey, if you really want to know if you got an attorney on Guam, go through a divorce, go through a child support case, and try to find one. You're not going to find one. If you do find one, the rate is probably almost twice as much as you would have paid 10 years ago, the hourly rate. You know, that's the type of problems this community is having. I was one of the last people that University of Guam, under a professional technical scholarship, the people of Guam sent me to law school. They paid a part of the law school tuition, and it was to come back to Guam and to serve them. That was about 1989 era.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't been giving out pro-tech scholarships in the numbers, and that's why we don't have enough attorneys now. Let alone it's not as attractive to people as it once was. So all of us have basically aged out at 30, 40 years at this point. So, you know, these are all the logistics. When you're in the community, you don't, obviously you don't understand how law firms work and the ethics and the procedures that we lawyers, the Greek that we follow. But you put us, anyone that has a licensed profession, an attorney, a doctor, a certified public accountant, we operate in a profession. And that profession requires a certain amount of services and the output of it, that sort of thing. So that's the nuts and bolts of it. But the bottom line is the Attorney General enforcing the law, and is he protecting the people? Because we've got civil and criminal capabilities in the office.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you're elected, you don't do the people's will, you're going to get replaced.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And you got a lot on your plate. You know,
right. We've made an ambitious agenda. I'll let you know right now. The reason why people say that he's always in the news or whatever, I don't call up the news to get in the news. The issues compel the people to ask the Attorney General, ask the governor, ask the senators, and they want results. That's why I say no excuses. When I'm hearing like excuses on Tidzin, oh, it's not the proper place, I don't care.
You're
Find
talking
the
about
proper
the
homeless. Right.
Tent
I don't
city.
care if that's the proper place. Find the proper place. The problem is the homeless. You can't be having them in our backyards, in the jungles, setting up. I live in Machechi.
Mhm.
My God, I watched somebody about 2 months ago. They walked with like their cart of goods right into the jungle. And I was looking in there to see if I could see the encampment. You can't see it from the road, but it's in there. You know, this is the type of unacceptable behavior we're getting. And that's in somebody else's backyard. So I
Yes.
respect the mayor of Barragata completely. Absolutely. Governor of Guam, do your job, find a location for it, and build a temporary tent city. And it's not 24-hour facility. This is where they come in the evenings, they get the meal, the shower, the shave, the cleaning your laundry, and then the morning and leave. But during that time, have the professionals there. Have Guam Homeless Coalition. They're always very outspoken. Do your job. Whatever. If they're government or if they're nonprofit, do your job. Use that money, the tax-exempt money that you're getting, and pick those people up in those villages, all our villages, and centralize them. The governor is the linchpin to this. And we showed it in February, March of 2023, working with the Mayor's Council of Guam, Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio, and the AG's office. We broke up the Micronesia Mall and encampment, and we also helped them after with the good help of Mayor Savares and now Mayor Benavente. So that's the model, the Dead Little Flea Market. They had all the service providers there. They had mental health, public health, and Department of Labor, and everybody else was there to help them, give them immediate services. GRTA, they used the buses to pick them up over there. We marshaled all their property, put them in plastic bags, and then everything else they left, DPW came in with the backhoe with the mayor and put it into the dump trucks, those cars.
With the model that you're proposing, I heard you just now say to get a meal, get a shower. Would it include a bed?
Yeah, a
so
cot.
they can sleep.
Yeah,
for
you
the
got
night.
the military tents. We
There
saw
you
that
go.
with the Theodore Roosevelt when they
Uh-huh.
came in with 2,000 sailors.
Right.
The GMR, what is it? The Naval Hospital could not accommodate. They only got 37 beds. You know, then you wonder why is the governor building a hospital for the military when they print money, right, for defense. But I mean, the point was that they set them up in an open field with tents. You know, they of all people are the NIMBYs. You would not want somebody with COVID next to your house or around your kids, okay? Because it's communicable, right? The COVID at the time. It's the same principle. It was a temporary facility in tents that were made for military, very nice tents that they make these days for the military. Set it up, deal with them, vet them, get them a job. You know, that's a big part of this. I'm a strong believer, if you're able to work, then work. Stop begging for money. You get those people on the side of the road that are holding that sign that says, we'll work for food. Those are the people that the Attorney General of Guam, on behalf of us as a community, has compassion for. I have no compassion for those beggars that look like that they're well off. Go get a job.
I've seen them.
Right. Everybody's seen them. Oh, my God, they're all over the place. And we've targeted them. My investigators have already looked at those site locations that we're going to be issuing the tickets from. You will have a date and time to meet one of our good judges at the Judiciary of Guam, because that is the law. This is not a Doug Moylan effort to create a law. It is the law. And again, I referenced KUAM Nick Delgado yesterday. In the evening, he was doing a actual live. Somebody got hit when he was in Dededo, next to the Route 16, and somebody called me and says that he thought it was a homeless person. That is why that panhandling law is out there, to protect every man, woman, and child in every vehicle from distracted driving and the panhandler. You put a panhandler under one of those tires, that's it. You know, nobody normally lives when you get run over by a tire.
One of the things I like about your model is you got a bed, you're going to get fed, you're going to get showered up. And the reason why I bring that up is because one of the issues that wasn't working was these homeless shelters that they don't want to live in.
You're coddling them. First of all, I don't want to live in it. Well, you sure as hell ain't going to live in my backyard down our street.
Yes.
This is the Attorney General's job, is to protect the people's property. And then you got the private landowners that are calling me up saying, can you please get them off my property? And I kind of like am reluctant, because that's private property. You need to get an attorney and go sue them. But if the governor says we're going to do an effort, we could work it out. Any place that there is a violation of the public health rules, i.e. no bathroom, toilet, latrine, because these guys are defecating in the jungle, urinating, that if you went online, I think Paulie sent it to me, that YouTube thing, it is shocking. And that's why I say the culture of homelessness is being promoted by our government right now. The governor gets most of that $1.3 billion huge budget.
Yes.
Do your job. You have a cabinet of public health officials, of Department of Labor, Guam Behavioral Health. Get out of your offices and go down there and pick those people up. Now, where are you going to put them? Take them to the governor's office, fill out the forms, whether they're poor or not, and then take them over to the tent city, temporary, for an evening processing. And then in the daytime, get out, go find a job, get Togi over there, pick them up, go get their driver's ID, the Guam ID, right?
Yeah.
They're always talking about logistics. These are excuses to being productive members of our community. The fact that we're so low in our conversations right now, when you look at people around us, you look at the Philippines, you look at Taiwan, you look at Singapore, Hong Kong, their people are so productive that their gross national product is tremendous, and they're an island nation. Why isn't the people of Guam in that category, that we can create the wealth among our people? It starts from education, religion. The fundamentals of a society are built upon how parents raise their children. Meth is a key part of this problem. Those homeless, what we found in the Dededo encampment, meth addicts. We were watching them. There were straws all over the place. All the paraphernalia of drugs was being attracted to these homeless encampments. And then we were seeing online in 2022, 2023, hitting people with 2x4s. People were watching the lawlessness and the brutality that occurs when you don't have the government around. A jungle type of living. But again, we're at such a low conversation here. The fact that we're debating, do we get the homeless encampment broken up or not? Oh my God. I was never raised in this type of environment. I'm sure most of the people in our community, I hope, we're not raised in a community that we aspire to be in a homeless camp, or that we will let it occur in front of us. That's why you have a government. So, this is the conversation. And the meth, hey, Governor, Port Authority, Customs, check every container that's coming out of there, because Customs, the U.S. federal government, in the post office of 2024, confiscated 185 pounds of it. Port, less than a pound, 0.5 ounces of meth on the weight. It shocks the sensibilities because we in the law enforcement know that meth is cheap, meth is prevalent all over the place. Meth probably isn't being made on Guam, and it must be coming through the port.
Did
and
you hear?
the southern.
Did you hear? I talked about it briefly about these Chinese immigrants coming in
Yeah.
by boat.
Yeah.
That one of them was interviewed, or
Right, he's becoming a meth dealer.
Yes.
Right, it's in the newspaper today. I noticed
Yes.
that. But look at this even more. In 2022, I wrote the article in the newspaper. Not only this is what the Chinese government do, the communists do. They weaken the other governments, and they're using white slavery, drugs. They're basically a syndicate. They take what they see in like the United States, the Cosa Nostra, right?
Sure.
Those type of syndicates, the Yakuza, the Tongs from China, and that's how they get their money, and that's how they weaken the United States. They talk about how fentanyl has killed off so many young children, Americans in the United States, and it's a threat to our safety. On Guam, it's the meth coming through the port or those skiffs down south where they're doing the quote-unquote fishing trips, when in fact, based upon the containers, those container seals have been tampered with. $150 a month. They're probably dumped, and that's why if you look at our images on it, they're out before that container ship comes in. Somebody's dumping it over the side, meeting up with a fishing trip boat, and then bringing it back in. And that's why, Governor, your conservation officers, get them down to those skiffs. Either close them up so that people can't depart by just putting their boats into the water, or monitor them. Full customs inspections. When you leave Guam's island, those boats are checked. I've heard of them being on the hull of boats, strapped in, being dumped on the reef so that people in scuba gear go out there. Look at Jeff's Pirates Cove. Jeff, I got a call about a year ago telling me that he found a block of what probably was meth, and then the police had to come down there in order to confiscate it. They're getting it into Guam through those containers. And Customs is not doing their job. The governor, it's not even Customs. These are all appointed officials. You go to the elected official that we put in there, and it's the governor of Guam. We gave the 100 pages on our website. Look at all the information we got. Some whistleblower at the port, whether it's Customs, whether it's a port employee or somebody, did that complete cement truck report with
the teddy bear?
With that teddy bear, that huge teddy bear in the passenger
heard
seat.
about it.
The customs regulations in the United States and on Guam does not allow you to put anything in any vehicle. It has to be completely empty. What was that teddy bear or that huge bear doing in that passenger side of that the cement mixer? 6 of them sat for themselves. In our report, we want to see those cameras. Which cameras were not working at the time? This is the entire Port Authority of Guam is a crime scene, with 150 tampered with seals. And they're saying, oh, no, there's only 8. Those are the broken ones. What about the numbers that the seal was put on in California or Hawaii? And when it comes to Guam, the numbers didn't match up. So somebody took the seal off and put another seal on it. It's common sense. So, Governor, Port Authority, who's always bragging about how well they're doing and how much money and all these big plans, take that extra money that you get, build that x-ray machine. Like in the United States, you watch the TV. You see these guys looking at these rigs coming through with the containers going through it. And when they see in the x-ray a concentration of white there, gets sidetracked to the side, and then they start doing the inspection with the dogs and everything else. We don't have to look at the rigs and the chassis because they're on Guam. You look at those containers because those are the ones that are getting offloaded from the ships. Common sense, Dave. And anyone that slow walks this, like the Port Authority, saying that, oh, it's in our plans, well, where the hell, where is it? This is the idea that you're an elected leader, Governor. You appointed that Port Authority of Guam. You remove those Port Authority directors or the board members if they don't follow your lead. Don't give me this, oh, it can't do it, or it's going to take 4 hours. This isn't going to take 4 hours. You get that x-ray machine, and every container is checked. Customs already has a portable one. So between the time that you pay for it, which is going to be done out of that Port Authority budget, and the time that you get it into Guam, x-ray them with the portable one and have them inspected. And Customs, they have the procedure. Follow it to the cargo, the owner of that thing. Have the dogs there as the cargo equipment removes the contents of the container. I never told the governor, take it apart at the port. It's going to take 4 hours. Of course not. You put it through the x-ray machines, or you follow it to the unloading area where the forklifts will pull it out.
Mhm.
That's the procedure, common sense. You don't have to be a attorney or a nuclear scientist to understand that.
Okay, you know, we're barely even scratching the surface. Great information.
Yeah.
You know, it for me.
This is what we're doing at the AG's
It's-
office. We're not
it's-
sitting at our desks.
I was alluding to that. It sounds like your investigators and your office is doing their jobs.
There's a lot demanded of
And-
those people in there.
But, you know, with that said, we're at the bottom of the hour. We're going to take a short break. But when we come back, again, we're barely scratching the surface. We haven't even talked about the other stuff.
Sure. There's a lot of
and
stuff
There's
out
a
there.
lot of stuff on your plate, believe me. And we'll get into that when we come back from the break. In the meantime, I'm Dave Duenas, sitting in for Patti Arroyo with our Attorney General, our elected Attorney General, Doug Moylan. Dice, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Last I checked, only Jack in the Box has a meal with your choice of entree and 2 sides, even breakfasty ones, plus a drink served all day. I'll check again. Yep, just me. At Jack, every bite's a big deal. Limited time only. Participation may vary.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Mornings with Patti on the Wave 105 FM, 32 minutes after 7 o'clock right now. We have your local headlines with Skylar Obispo from the Marianas Business Journal and the Guam Business Magazine, brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Buenas and Hafa Adai, here's the latest from the Marianas Business Journal. The Guam Visitors Bureau reported a 27% increase in revenues at its Board of Directors meeting held yesterday. As of December 2024, the fiscal year-to-date revenues came out to $7.6 million compared to $6 million in 2023. In 2024, GVB saw a 24% change in Guam appropriation and large increases in membership dues and its consumption tax refund. Expenditures for the Bureau slightly fell at 7% at $5.7 million for 2024 compared to $6.2 million in 2023. However, equipment costs saw a substantially large increase by 338% from $39,000 to roughly $172,000. The Bureau will also be meeting soon to look over 6 applicants who applied for the vacant president and general manager position. In more news, the EPAL Point property, also known as the old GMH site, may be returning to the Perez family following the securing of land in Manilao for the planned construction of a new hospital. Adelup announced yesterday that Governor Lulian Guerrero proposed legislation to senators of the 38th Guam legislature to transfer ownership of the land to the heirs of Francisco D. Perez, who was the original landowner. Perez originally gave the government of Guam the property over 20 years ago for the construction of a hospital. The property measures approximately 10,120 square meters and is located just off of Route 14 next to Archbishop Felix Berto Flores Memorial Circle. Reporting for the Marianas Business Journal, The Wave 105, and Power 98, I'm Skylar Obispo.
Pat's Tinting and Detailing offers premier services from complete interior cleaning and VIP detailing. And to keep you cool, Pat's also offers factory, ceramic, blacked out, and based-approved auto tinting. For more information, call 647-SLAM.
Young surprise! I'm back on Wave 105. It's your girl Nene every Saturday from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Catch your island music tidal wave with Nene. Brought to you by San Lorenzo Laundromat.
Hafa Adai, Guam. Let's do some traffic right now. Hitting the streets at 7:35 on a Tuesday morning here on the Wave 105 FM. Heads up, guys. Our friends will be doing some milling and paving projects. You'll find our guys in Hoggett. DPW will be along Jose Herrera Street and Lucas Rodriguez Street in Hoggett. 7 a.m. all the way till 4 o'clock this afternoon. You'll also find them on Route 4 in Talofofu with some striping projects. So heads up, guys. Please proceed with caution and do remain alert for all the traffic control signs and the work crews. Now, for those of you getting around Hagåtña, we got some north and southbound traffic on West O'Brien Drive, getting up and around the Superior Court of Guam or around the Bank of Guam intersection. You will find a couple of hot pockets. Sinahan is moving really nice. ORDOT as well. Slight delays. It's not too bad getting around FD this morning, and that's going to be along Route 10. School buses are making the rounds. Watch your speed limit. Eyes on the road. No texting and driving, and you should have yourself a safe Tuesday morning. This is your Real Deal Traffic Report for Mornings with Patti on the Wave 105 FM.
Always here to help you. This island is our home. Through the years, we've been a friend to the neighbors we have known. Now we're banking
After over 10 years, I think it's time to freshen things up. Attention class of 2025. The next evolution of the Power 98 Senior Challenge is coming. Are you ready to step up? Stay tuned for details.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show hosts, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
Stimulating conversation.
Guam is hot. Guam is just such a little spot. It's a beautiful island that you've never seen, where America's day begins. Anamauday tugi bakulairi Aragua tu America para Bolivia. Oh my God, evening Napa, California. Questo mondo to San Francisco.
Hang
on, guys.
Are you good? You know the singer. You
Yes,
got
I
Ben
do.
Lomlom wrong, man, because you're not winning any prizes this morning. Hopefully you get this one right. You got this one. Who's the singer? Come on, Dave. You got
That's
this.
KC.
Nicely done. Beautifully done.
You know,
All right.
I don't know
Okay.
who's older, him or Daniel.
I would not know. No, I would not
Daniel,
know.
you know, he's
Daniel?
in Guam.
Okay. All
Daniel
right,
Leon,
right on.
D. Leon Guerrero.
All right.
One of my favorite recording artists in Guam. Man, Daniel, you got that guy. He's like a John Lennon. You know?
yeah.
Oh, but before I go any further, welcome back to the show. I'm Dave Duenas. In the studio with me is our Attorney General, and I got to emphasize our elected Attorney General. He didn't just happen to be there.
That's right. You got to earn the people's trust and vote.
Thank you.
That's right.
And I'm Dave Duenas, sitting in for Patti in the morning. And I was just told by our illustrious producer we do have some callers.
Let's go for it.
So we're going to get the callers as soon as Dice gives me the signal that they're ready. Caller number one, Hafa Adai, Buenas.
We do. We got Joe on the line for you.
Today, good morning. This is Joe. I got a question for Mr. Moylan.
Yes, Joe. Good morning.
Good morning. So, okay, a few years back, I made a bet with my family members, with my friends, with my coworkers, and sure enough, on the paper last week, it's happened. And that bet was that Michael Moore will not see the day of a cell. So I want to know why we invested all this money to bring this guy back from Florida, and why all of a sudden he is not getting prosecuted.
Well, first of all, he did see several jail cells because of his pretrial release conditions, and then I think he violated it. But obviously, we're all innocent till proven guilty. The former AG had 2 cases that were filed against him. The more serious one, we at the AG's office have been trying to get to the jury because it is the most, it's a stronger one. That's the murder case. So he, by all means, is not free of the criminal justice system, and the right to trial that we innocent people all have a right to, and the guilty have a right to have their day in court. So I rest assured, Joe, that case is on my radar as Attorney General. I'm talking weekly with the prosecutors on it, so it will have its day in court, and the people, hopefully the jury will see it.
I understand we are all innocent to proven guilty, but I want to see that day in court.
Yes, sir.
Don't make me win the bet against all these people because I honestly feel that this is a case that needs to go to court.
Yes, sir. That is the people have indicted that case. The judges are in the process of having the second one. The murder case is our top of our agenda right now for that case.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe.
All right, and on the WhatsApp line, good morning, Dave. I'm listening live right now through WhatsApp. Now, hearing the AG discuss about the homeless, I just want to commend the AG on saying good points on what needs to be done. I am so glad he said what he said because for so long this problem is not actually being dealt with. These homeless organizations need to actually do the job and not just say we are helping the homeless. So much talk, but no action. Bravo, AG Moylan, and that's coming from Mr. Pangilinan, resident of Doña.
Thank you, Mr. Pangilinan.
Thank you. Yes.
That's very nice of him to say, and that's the type of work product that I thank the people that put me here.
Mhm.
I'm a Chamorro, I'm a Guamanian, and I'm a resident of Guam. Mecheche, that is one of the larger parts of Dededo, and I see it.
You know, I live in Dededo. Where the heck is Mecheche?
Next to Las Palmas area.
Oh, okay.
It's in the center of.
I've been
everybody
living
comes
in
from
Dededo
Mecheche. I
since
say.
1971. Every time I say Mecheche.
There's Mogfog, Mecheche.
Yeah, I'm like,
we're the other side. I think there's what is it? The NCS area is a different part of the Dededo area,
right.
but we're in the one right below the mountain.
I remember you did something about fixing the road there.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. You know, this is
that
why
was
I
a
go
few
back to the
years.
governor. Get Vince Ariola out of that freaking, excuse the language, out of that office and fix our roads. You know, I was joking, and this isn't even a joke anymore. You could literally drive down a street living in there and close your eyes, and you know exactly where to turn your car so that you don't damage your tire, damage your suspension, your steering. That's the type of lack of leadership we're getting from the governor. And it's not Vince Ariola's problem. Change the director, governor. You appointed them there. If they don't get out and fix our streets, stop GWA from cutting it up and leaving it without the proper
or putting
concrete.
the metal plates.
Well, temporarily, well, that's another problem.
Yes.
Keeping the metal plate there and then it cuts your tires or smashes it, or not even not even the notice before you're going to hit a metal plate. So like at 8 o'clock at night when you're driving and all of a sudden you whack it, like in PD that I've experienced. You know, they put a metal plate in the middle of the street, and they don't have, like in the States, oh my gosh, you go up to these areas, they've got flashers, they got the whole safety measures that are out. These contractors, the reason why they're doing this is because Department of Public Works, GWA, they're not doing their job. The CCU, those guys are not doing their job. They're putting out all these nice little brochures and our utility bills. How much did it cost you? Why don't you go get a crew out there, put some concrete in that hole so at least it'll last versus throwing that cold patch on it. Did you know after every time the rain comes, that cold patch goes off, and when it fills with water, you can't even see the pothole.
Exactly.
So you're smashing into it. You're damaging your tires, you're damaging your suspension, and your steering. And for all those women out there that don't understand this, you see the mechanic and he just smiles. He loves it when your tire comes in because it's blown and you can't fix it, or the steering is out, or you fail your safety inspection because your tires are so out of a line now because you keep hitting the same pothole. That is what the governor of Guam is doing to us as a people. This whole idea of the lack of the quality of life that we're experiencing, the fact I'm even talking about this, the fact that they're literally 20 years. My neighbors and I, when I was a private attorney, we just got together and said, let's go fix those potholes. I got my generator out. I got my Bosch equipment out. We started digging those things up. And then Mayor Benavente came out and helped us. He brought what is it? He first of all, he gave us the authorization. That was the key thing, that we could do that. We got the concrete. We've got the bricks, everything to fix it. They're still there to this day, but all the rest of the road is.
Didn't they eventually fix it?
No, they never did it.
Oh,
you know,
they did.
Mayor Savara's brought in one of those hot patch type machines. She only fixed 2 of them. There's like the whole strip. This is what I'm talking about. Stop sitting in your offices. Federal grants people, get the grants. Why is there always the excuse, we don't have money for the secondary roads and stuff? Well, get 3 people, go to one of those contractor guys. They know exactly how to fix it. You don't need a federal grant of $20 million to do it. You need a cement mixer. You need the pen sand. You need the concrete, the tamper, and the one that cuts the road, and the demolition hammer. Fix it. Those potholes are usually about 3 feet to 2 feet wide, like what we did in Mecheche, on Mecheche Road.
I wanted to bring this up. Are you familiar with Hamburger Road?
Oh, yeah.
Behind McDonald's?
Yeah. Well, they fixed a part of it. I just drove over there.
And who fixed it? DPW.
Yeah.
So they can do it.
Exactly. Well, they started fixing the one in front of the Mormon church in that whole Barragata strip.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Another 10 to 20 years. That whole strip, you know exactly where to drive on the road, where that freaking, excuse the language again, that pothole was. Joanne Brown, when it was Paris first and Joanne Brown, when they were fixing Bello Road, Alligator Street, I called them up after that, and I emailed them. After the crew came there, and I knew they were about ready to turn it over to the government, so I called up the director, and he says, please do not accept that, because those manholes were like 2 inches to 3 inches under the surface, and that will damage your car just as much as a pothole. So what they did, and I credit to Joanne Brown and to Perez, I think he was the first one, but Joanne Brown came in. They stopped it. Those guys were out there with their demolition hammers. They chopped around the manholes. They brought the manhole cover up, and then they put the concrete around it. That's the type of leadership that we need in our government. And since then, I've noticed, and by the way, I think I got Pickering's, where's our engineers were, oh, it's okay for an inch. And I says, what do you mean it's okay for an inch? Make it flat, like they started to do, by the way, in Tamuning. This is the common sense, the poor leadership. And it's those inspectors that are at DPW that are sitting in their offices getting 80 grand to 120 grand because they're engineers that should be out in our streets with their cameras and telling those guys they're paying these contractors, no, you need to make it flat. They're starting to do that. And we did that. I did that. I think it was like 5 years ago, but it was when Elegeta Street was about ready to be turned over. They had 20 manholes probably that were all over the street that were below the surface. It's unacceptable.
What's the deal with the metal plates? Is there a
Those
time?
are temporary.
Those
are
know,
supposed,
but
well, you see,
when you say temporary, it's supposed to be
right.
temporary.
Well, the PD one was the example. That thing was temporary for like a year to 2 years.
Yeah,
right?
well,
that
that's
thing was
what I'm
always
getting
there.
at.
Right. You see, but this is where the inspectors at DPW and ultimately the director and the governor, Carl Gutierrez, used to go around Guam with his directors and literally identify things, and they had a checklist. If I was governor of Guam, I would do the same thing that Carl did. Go around with all my cabinet and start pointing at things. I want this thing fixed. I want that thing cut, those grasses. Why is it that everybody's always using a backhoe to clean off the side of the road? What the heck? You're supposed to have your lawnmowers and stop this bush cutter stuff. Bush cutters are not meant for the main thoroughfares. Buy those John Deere equipment that they sell in the States and use it. They used to do this back in the 80s. They had the regular lawn equipment that would be pulled by the tractor to cut the large surfaces. These bush cutters out there, they're nuisances. They're throwing rocks right at your car.
Yes.
They're damaging the paint. They're hitting the windows and cracking them.
Yes.
That is the law. You cannot be doing that. So all these landscaping companies, and some of them you see them holding up that little screen over there. Well, that's the first step. But I mean, the point is, Parks and Rec or whoever's in charge of that, DPW, you make sure that when they're doing basic landscaping, you use the right equipment for it. And stop waiting until the tongue is growing all over the place, that you need to bring in that backhoe for the side of the road. Properly maintain our streets. $1.3 billion is our budget. When I was the last Attorney General,
budget.
When I was the Attorney General back in 2003 to 2007, the budget of the government of Guam was $450 million, about $400 million. We've got 3 times the amount. We're not seeing it as a people. The services are getting worse, and the quality of life is going down. And the homeless and the poor and the panhandlers are just a perfect example of the deterioration of our quality of life. That our kids can actually see the homeless and say that that's okay. It's not okay.
One thing you touched on, which I am a recipient of, when it heavy downpour, then giant pothole gets filled with water.
Get ready to hit it.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. Dave, I can
out on
literally
that stuff.
close my eyes and go down that street that you're talking about because I know exactly where every pothole is. I know exactly where GWA built up what should be a pothole is now a speed bump.
Yes.
It's either a pothole or a speed bump. That is the mentality. We should actually make an image for DPW's leadership on how they're running our lives. This is you can't even go to work without getting stressed out with hitting that. And you know how
absolutely right.
And by the way, you ever see those cars that go into the oncoming lane because those guys like me know exactly where that pothole is, so they're trying to
happens
verge
every
around
day.
it. Yeah,
for me every day.
Yeah,
in my village, Ditto.
And then or they go in the
How
middle.
about
lane.
your village?
Yeah. So it's all over Guam. This is the type of leadership that we need to have replaced, or somebody's got to do their job.
And again, you're listening to Patti in the Morning. I'm Dave Duenas, and I like what's coming out of your mouth. I really do.
It's the common man. It's what we all experience every day.
I listen to what you're saying, and everything you're saying, I can honestly say, it's not an exaggeration. It's just the facts.
I drove here this morning avoiding potholes.
Yes, and that analogy of you ever see cars coming towards you? Yeah, because they know where the pothole is at, and they're trying to avoid it.
Especially in the middle lane. That is so dangerous to go to avoid a pothole just because you don't want to damage your car, and then another car is coming right at you. But that's what they're forcing us to do because, nobody wants to hit a pothole. But at the same time, what if somebody's coming into that middle lane and you're using it in order to get around a pothole? And Elegeta Street, they did it again. They've cut it up, and they're not fixing it. It's GWA and the DPW.
And again, listeners out there, again, we got Doug Moylan. We can't. It's kind of hard to hide you. Just your voice, we know who you are.
Oh,
But
Thanks.
I really like what you're talking about. We're gonna have detractors out there. They're gonna call in and say,
It's part of the public debate.
It is, and I know for one thing, as an elected attorney general or any elected position, you gotta have thick skin.
Right.
You're gonna get detractors.
But Dave,
I actually call them haters. But,
I want those people to come out of the woodwork because it lets the rest of us listen to the quality of the argument. Listen to the common sense part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Check what's a fact against what is either a lie or a distortion of the truth, and let the people decide ultimately.
Yeah, and again, people, you got something you want to talk about? You got a question maybe for our Attorney General? Give us a call, 922-1051-1052, and I am absolutely sure he'll give you an answer to your question the best he can. So give us a call. Patti in the Morning. I'm Dave Duenas. I'm with Doug Moylan. And again, we haven't even touched. Literally, I had lots more questions I wanted to ask you, and all the different subjects that your office is involved in. And before we go to the break, for example, the eminent domain,
right?
The taking of property. And the recent press release that the governor wants to give back Epau Point property back to Mr. Perez.
The Perez family.
Yes, that. And what else is going on? They got...
We've got the catch, release, reoffend.
There
You
you
got
go.
the daily magistrates. Again, meth. You've got all
That's a
these
big
issues.
one for me.
It is, to me,
Drugs.
it is affecting everything in our lives from productivity to our future, our kids' futures.
Absolutely. I live in Didido. And my wife and my daughter, they go to the mom and pop store down the street. And I tell them every single time. I said, when you go to the mom, because they hang around.
But this is what we're dealing with as a community.
Mm-hmm.
I tell my family too, don't go out at certain times, and the women, don't go out at night. That's how we're like living in a bomb shelter in our lives.
Yeah.
Be careful. That protect yourself billboard we put up. And look at those billboards. They're meant to say something. That was meant to scare every meth addict that's carrying a firearm, that you better watch it. Because if you think that you're going to be taking down a woman or somebody vulnerable, if they have a firearm and they shoot you, you're not going to have a compassionate ear from the Attorney General. Because if it is a righteous shot that person was threatening another person, I believe in self-defense. I believe in defending your family, your wife, your children, your whoever, even third parties. To defend somebody else is a noble, righteous act and is an act of good Samaritans, and we started that program and so forth. This is what we need to encourage as a community. But, in addition to that, we need to be looking at Singapore, Hong Kong, Taiwan. We need to bring financial wealth into our households so that we're not on the verge of poverty. And what is stopping it? It's meth. It's this what is infecting our community. It's you look at the family court where I can't talk about the specific cases. You see how one or two of the parents get hooked on meth, and then you start looking at those kids that have basically forever lost their parents. In many of those family court cases that we're seeing, where the military people come in and become foster parents, and then 2 years later, because the parents can't get out of the meth treatment, that the court cuts their parental rights, and those chamorros are going to the States, and now the parents are Caucasian, military, good Samaritan people that want to take the kids with them. That is what we're seeing in family court. It's disintegrating every part of our lives and taking our children.
Okay, it looks like we might have a call. Someone has a question.
Yes,
for
sir.
you.
We have John on line 1 for the Attorney General. Here we go.
Hi, John.
Hey, John.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, good morning. Good morning, Attorney General Moylan.
Buenas.
How you doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I just wanted to ask a question. I've been following the media and all these issues, but I just wanted to ask your opinion. I understand that the issue of illegal cockfighting and gambling. I still see it, in the villages, especially where I live, and sometimes it becomes a nuisance already. So what is your take on this?
And this kind of dovetails into my comment. Whimsy is shut down. We don't have any real entertainment facility in the evenings. I just said one of the articles that the media asked me on. I'm seeing going out to dinners as the entertainment. That is not entertainment to go out and eat. You need to have other distractions. I'm not one of those advocates of cutting off the cockfighting on Guam. I believe that's a federal statute that they did there.
It is.
I think that's part of the Filipino culture. That's part of the Chamorro culture, and it was an entertainment. That was the main intent of the cockfighting, right? My uncles and my grandfather, they used to go to the cockfights.
Likewise.
Fred Leongoro Aflagui. I remember that when he was alive. So, I disagree with the states. I think they're giving animals too many rights over people.
Mhm.
I'm going to get hell for that. But I mean, the idea is it's chicken. It's the poultry.
Well,
It's the evening meal.
I know about the animal rights, and I'm sorry to interject here, but I always give an example. The horse races?
Right.
Guess what they do to the horses?
Steroids and whatever
Well, they
else.
whack them.
Oh, yeah.
Whack them to
Right.
death, man, just to get them to go
Right.
a little
You see,
faster.
this is the
Isn't
difference
that
between
animal cruelty? Yes, it is.
Well, yeah. You see, this is the debate that you would have when we talk about that. On John's question, he's focusing upon the
Cockfight.
illegality of it, right?
Yes.
Obviously, the federal government has made it illegal on Guam. I believe it went up on appeal with Puerto Rico and Guam, and maybe the Supreme Court, one of the appellate courts, says that no, that is a valid law.
Mhm.
So, that's the response there. Gambling is illegal on Guam in most respects. So, but my uncle Teddy Taitano, he's passed away, and I can say this. He was one of those guys that had. I used to cut his yard and see him with his group of friends, and they were doing the poker. A lot of families do the poker at night and stuff like that. You look at the context in which those things are happening, and then you figure out. Is it white slavery? Are they doing, drugs at those? Because it's usually associated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gambling, white slavery, prostitution, and drugs. That's the tongs. That's the Nakosa Nostra and the Yakuza. That's where you don't want that element coming in. But I kid you not. If a bunch of guys want to get together and have that poker night,
Mm-hmm.
and high stakes poker night where somebody's got to call their wife and say, honey, this guy's like, these guys a lot of money. That's the type of, we grew up on Guam. That was our entertainment. That's why in the carnivals we have that license for everybody to play. Was it pay red sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm the Chamorro. I'm part of Guam. I understand.
Yes.
You have to be an attorney general. You have to enforce the laws that actually help us, and then you have to kind of like put the resources where the most damage is being done.
And going back to like you said, the cockfight is part of our culture.
It's cultural.
I remember as a child, my dad and my uncles, my dad's siblings, they would have cockfights at the house.
Yeah.
And the loser was kuddu.
Okay.
That's how we.
That's right.
At least we get a little something out of it. Okay.
Yeah, I see where it's coming from.
Yes.
But then when it gets to a point where they do it all the way to 4 a.m, it becomes a nuisance, and then
you said it right there, John. You said it right there. Right. When you see that,
disturbing the peace. That's all I wanted.
Agreed, 100%.
I just wanted, I'm not trying to play a devil advocate, but your answer about that, the cockfight, I get the poker, I understand, but as far as that illegal cockfight is, I just wanted to, put this in. You said that it's, an entertainment, but
right.
I just wanted to find out, is that what you're trying to say? Is that the most popular thing to say or the right thing to say?
It's the right thing to say. Because, first of all, the federal government is the law enforcers for that. The AG's office doesn't do it. So my idea is, but by the way, you raise other issues when you talk. If my neighbor was doing a cockfight and then, all, like 4 o'clock in the morning, hell no. Excuse the language. I shouldn't have said that. But I mean, you call the cops up and then you have the police come in for disturbing the peace, that sort of thing. We have to live in an environment of our neighbors. We also have to live in the realistic world out there. And I'm not trying to say that if they've got gambling and they got everybody from the southern Guam coming up there, and like I said, once it starts getting to that area of this is a type of person that's making money and by running a gambling establishment. Let's put it that way. That is the type of nuisances and illegality that the AG's office would be involved in. You saw the feds recently prosecuted the Korean lady and a bunch of other people for what was going on some gambling. That's the type where the law enforcement focuses itself. But the group of guys that get together and just throw their stuff on the table.
But I'll just let you know, these group of guys, it's not just a couple of people. It's like, it's more. I'll tell you something. It's more than 100 people.
Yes. You see, that's what I'm. That would be. I would be in agreement with you that if this is an actual type of syndicated organization, which it sounds like, when you have 100 people, clearly that's on the illegal gambling type of situation. So I agree with you, John. It's just that we got to, as an attorney general and 33 years as an attorney. I'm 58 right now. You have to, like my parents and my grandparents. You got to step back and then look at. Is it really that harmful? And I think what you just said there, it would be harmful. It would come to our scope on the Attorney General's office, where we would start making the inquiry to break them up, whether we charge them or not, and whether they're smart enough to just stop that type of behavior. Those are different questions, but yeah.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
I just one last point. Yeah, because sometimes I see, I don't live far from the place that thing's happening, so sometimes I see the surrounding neighbors. They get angry and a little argument because they block their driveway. They throw the trash in their yard.
Right.
And, I just don't want it to be, escalate to something else.
And, John, in those cases, and we do, my email address is on our website, the directory, the homepage. You can email me in those situations, and I can contact our chief of police to mention it to him. And, just having the officers go there during those periods does a lot of good of breaking them up.
Right, yeah.
Thank you, John.
We usually speak around with the the community, and just
the neighborhood watch.
That's why I really advocate for that homeowners association thing that I used to be part of.
The neighborhood watches.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Oh well. Anyways, thank you for that answer, and thank you.
Thank you, John.
Esther, thank you. We are definitely at the top of the hour now, and I thank you, John, the listener out there, and all of you that are listening in Radio Land. Doug Moylan, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you stay a little longer?
I'll leave it up to you.
Okay.
How much time you want?
Because we're going to take a break.
Sure.
We are Patti in the Morning. I'm Dave Duenas, sitting in for Patti with my special guest this morning, our elected Attorney General, Doug Moylan. We'll be right back.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Matt Piper. Winds are gaining strength in Malibu, blowing through scorched areas and making conditions more difficult for those still fighting the overwhelming Southern California wildfires. Los Angeles City Fire Chief Kristen Crowley on efforts there, given dangerous high wind warnings that go into effect tomorrow morning.
I have strategically pre-positioned engine strike teams and task forces, which are dedicated to rapid response for any new fire that breaks out in the city.
CBS's Adam Yamaguchi is in Pacific Palisades.
I'm seeing nothing but destruction all around me in this neighborhood, with the exception of a few structures that are still standing in place. Everything else seems to be wiped out. In fact, 75% of this area is said to have been completely decimated.
At least 24 people have died from the fires. President Biden on the Israel-Hamas negotiations says a deal is on the brink of coming to fruition in his final week in office.
Pressing hard to close this. The deal we have structured would free the hostages, halt the fighting, provide security to Israel, and allow us to significantly surge humanitarian assistance to the Palestinians who've suffered terribly in this war.
Confirmation hearings for some controversial picks from President-elect Donald Trump for his cabinet begin tomorrow. CBS's Natalie Brand with more on his pick to run the Department of Defense, Pete Hegseth, and his FBI background check.
The findings were shared with the top two members of the Senate Armed Services Committee, but some Democratic senators want them to be shared more widely with lawmakers, given their concerns about Hegseth. Meanwhile, a group of Navy SEALs and veterans who support his nomination are traveling to Washington, D.C. to rally around him ahead of the confirmation hearing tomorrow.
Florida's governor has called a special legislative session to fund state and local efforts to enforce the president-elect's immigration policy.
Republican Governor Ron DeSantis promises to get tough.
This is the time to get it right once and for all.
He says the special session later this month will define additional duties and provide funding for local agencies to crack down on illegal immigration. And
there also needs to be measures to hold people accountable who are violating our anti-sanctuary policies.
That includes suspending elected officials if they're, quote, neglecting their duties under immigration mandates. Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
A Texas man has been charged with stalking WNBA star Caitlin Clark after he allegedly sent numerous threats and sexually explicit messages to her on social media. The man even drove to Indianapolis and said he was driving around her house daily. At the close, the Dow gained 358 points. This is CBS News.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You could save big when you bundle your auto, home, motorcycle, RV, or boat. Visit Progressive.com.
The county just requested more electric charging stations.
Orders have really amped up at Able Electric.
We need 3 more at First in Maine, and we just got another hotel chain.
It's no shock. Able Electric needs able electricians.
Grocery store wants charging stations, too.
And fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
America's bourbon boom may be busting.
Enjoy it neat on the rocks.
The Wall Street Journal reports that 5 years after people began a pandemic splurge on spirits, it's petering out. With drinkers cutting back, going through their bourbon stock, and trading down to cheaper brands, the Journal says distillers are cutting jobs and shelving expansion plans. An industry tracker finds sales of American-made bourbon, Tennessee, and rye dropped 4% in the first 9 months of 2024. The growing popularity of anti-obesity drugs, pot, and low and no alcohol drinks have also put a dent in sales. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Blue Origin called off the debut launch of its massive new rocket because of technical trouble. The 320-foot rocket was supposed to blast off before dawn with a prototype satellite from Cape Canaveral, Florida, but launch controllers had to deal with an unspecified rocket issue in the final minutes of the countdown and ran out of time. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax. They know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
There are so many reasons to say yes to priority banking from First Hawaiian Bank. There's the ATM rebates, the exclusive access, the discounts, the fee waivers. Honestly, I'd keep going, but I think I'm running out of time. To hear more, talk to a banker or go to fhb.com/priority. It feels good to go priority. Terms and conditions apply. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
Hafa Adai, Guam, good morning and welcome back. It's Mornings with Patti on the Wave 105 FM. And the show this morning is proudly being brought to you by our great friends over at Chili's Grill and Bar. Patch Tinting and Detailing. GTA, we start with you. Good to go, we deliver. Download the app or order online at goodtogowedeliver.com. Take Care Insurance Company, Our Island, Your Health Plan. Streaming online on thewave105.com. Like, subscribe, and follow our YouTube channel. That is Wave 105.1 FM Guam. We have your local headlines for you right now with Skylar Obispo from the Marianas Business Journal and the Guam Business Magazine. And it's all brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Buenas and Hafa Adai. Here's the latest from the Marianas Business Journal. The Guam Police Department announced upgrades to its over 30-year-old emergency communication system yesterday at a press conference in Arroyo. Motorola Solutions will be partnering with the government of Guam to roll out expanded coverage to the first responder land mobile radio system and provide added reliability network-wide. First responders will have access to the FirstNet network, which allows them to communicate through cellular and internet coverage in the event traditional radios become unavailable. In addition, the improved systems will provide added security against cyber threats, among a number of other benefits. According to Governor Lulian Guerrero, the system upgrade costs $11.5 million, but said it's an investment for the lives of the people. In more news, the Office of Public Accountability has released its findings on the Guam Department of Revenue and Taxation's handling of nonprofit organizations. OPA stated that its objectives were to evaluate DRT's efficiency and whether it follows Guam law relating to NPOs. They also verified if nonprofit organizations maintain their tax-exempt status, as well as being compliant to all tax laws and reporting requirements. Of the 1,536 NPOs under DRT's purview, 625 were active and 911 were declared inactive or revoked as of August 2023. The audit found deficiencies in DRT's monitoring and registration of NPOs, manpower shortages, and the unavailability of required documents. Reporting for the Marianas Business Journal, The Wave 105, and Power 98, I'm Skylar Obispo.
McDonald's is not new to chicken, so maybe stop questioning their chicken cred and get your hands on the McCrispy. Juicy fried chicken, buttery bun, unmatched pickle to chicken ratio. Yeah, they know what they're doing. In fact, we can honestly say they're not new to chicken, they're true to chicken. The McCrispy. Only at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
All right, Guam, let's go ahead and hit the streets. This will be your last look at this morning's Real Deal traffic report for you, Guam. And I want to give a quick heads up, guys, for those of you along Route 4 or along Route 2. Telefofu, throughout this entire week, we got road work happening, so motorists, please proceed with caution, as you will find striping projects with our friends at DPW. Route 4 in Telefofu. That kicked off at 7:30 this morning, and it should roll into the 3 o'clock hour. As well as Route 2, we do have some striping maintenance projects in Hoggett this morning, and that kicked off at 7 a.m. So again, motorists, just proceed with caution, remain alert for all the traffic control signs, and just look out for the work crews. For those of you that are Route 1 this morning, you will find north and both southbound traffic in Dedido outside of the Micronesia Mall, JFK Kmart intersection along Route 1, and working your way into Tamuning at the ITC intersection, as well as Jack in the Box in Tamuning. You will find some north and both southbound traffic there. Let's keep our eyes on the roads, not on the phones. No texting and driving on the streets of Guam. Ensure that your seatbelts are fastened and that the kids are strapped safely in the proper booster and car seats. Your Real Deal traffic report for Mornings with Patti on the Wave 105 FM, and it's all being brought to you by Guam Auto Spot.
Political status impacts almost every aspect of our lives on Guam, but many are unaware of our right to self-determination and decolonization. What does it mean, and how can it improve our quality of life? Join the conversation, ask some questions, and learn more about your right to self-determination and the 3 legitimate political status options for Guam. Tune in to Challenge the Status Quo every Monday from 10 a.m. to noon on Wave 105.1 FM, presented in partnership with the Commission on Decolonization and Glimpses Media.
Last I checked, only Jack in the Box has a meal with your choice of entree and 2 sides, even breakfasty ones, plus a drink served all day. I'll check again. Yep, just me. At Jack, every bite's a big deal. Limited time only. Participation may vary.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show hosts, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
Keep the dial here. Your radio loves it. Wave 105 FM.
That sounds like candy.
Nice. You're winning all the prizes today.
Did I win that one?
You're on the road to
Yes.
a Cybertruck. I'm feeling like a Tesla's coming in soon. Good
Yes.
job.
Yeah, the Punto.
Maybe just a steering wheel. Probably just a steering wheel, man. But go
Welcome
ahead.
back
Go
to the
ahead.
show. Yes, really, really popular singer from Saipan. Yeah, and I'm Dave Duenas. Welcome to Patti in the Morning. I still have my our elected Attorney General, Doug Moylan, still in the studio with us. We're not done with you. I got a few more questions I wanted to ask you. And in the meantime, you, the listeners out there, you have the opportunity, should you have a question as well, give us a call. 922-1051, 922-1052 as well. So, again, we were talking, a previous caller, before we took a break, was mentioning about the cockfight.
Yeah.
I recall when of course, it is, in fact, a federal law. But when it came down to Guam, of course, it made a bunch of headlines. And our administration came out and said, yeah, we're aware of it, but we're not going to enforce it. And they didn't. So, no, they did.
Yeah, for the feds, I guess that would be the idea.
And the feds said, I don't know the feds. They just
They don't have enough infrastructure out here for that. That's what I mean. The priorities in our law enforcement work, meth, the repeat criminals, there's things that are bigger than that. But again, with deference to John, if it's like that, it can be repaired, fixed, stopped with the proper
Absolutely.
approach.
And like I said, cockfight, I grew up with it as a child, my parents, my uncles.
Yeah, we all grew up with it.
Yeah, it is a part of our culture. Ever since I can remember. We have a call.
We have Mr. Arceo on the phone for the AG this morning.
Mr. who?
Arceo.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Agu.
Hey, is this Mr. Duenas?
Yes, it is. Hi.
Hi. Last time I met with you was South Pacific Games.
South Pacific? Oh, yes. That was a while back, huh?
That's a long time ago.
Yes, it is. How you doing, my friend? Happy New Year.
Yeah, retired and taking a break.
Yeah, those were good old times. Yeah, South Pacific Games. Yeah, that was at
I'm just
South.
I'm just responding to, I guess, Attorney General Moylan's concerns regarding safety, roadway safety, and issues about drugs.
Okay.
I've been tackling this issue of roadway safety since I was in the police department.
Okay.
And it's an ongoing issue. It's basically the same way the way we deal with public buildings. From now, since then, I see missing signs. Roadway markings are disappearing.
Oh yes, definitely.
It's hard to see at night time. Potholes on the roadways.
Many.
Those are the issues that we're concerned with.
Mm-hmm.
Yet we're pushing DUIs, which is very good, but there's other issues also that contribute to accidents. And it ends up the government going to have to pay for it.
Yes, unfortunately. I myself, I encourage and I advocate to the listeners and the people out there, should you have damage to your vehicle because of the dilapidated state of our roads, file a claim. If it takes a class action suit, if it's just, if it's only one person, we ain't going to listen. But if it's a class action suit, I think that would be even better.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Arceo. The fact that you were former law enforcement, thank you for your years of service, and I guess you're retired, I think you mentioned. You're out there in the streets where our elected leaders need to be. They need to see the problems that are going on. Like you mentioned, it's the lack of the stripping, the dots on the roads, the roadway safety, and then the priorities of what has to be fixed first. But, even what Dave just said, these class action suits, guess who pays for that? It's all of us out there that have to pay for the injured parties. And I agree with Dave and you guys. When that road wasn't fixed and my car has to now go in for realignment, new tires, suspension bushings that are all worn out because they keep hitting the same pothole every day, there is a government official that should be thrown out of office because of that. And especially, like I mentioned, these are not 10 years. My gosh, I left the AG's office in 2007, and those potholes are still in the same place. And that's why it's always been a pet peeve of mine to go after GWA and the DPW director. But I mean, the governor is ultimately the one responsible. And again, I bring up Carl Gutierrez. He used to go out in the villages with his cabinet members like Vince Ariola and fix the potholes. You're damaging our property when GWA damages that road. It's our property, yours, mine. So if you cut it up, you better fix it, and it's not going to be cold patch. You put the proper procedures, whether it's concrete or whether it's that hot melt asphalt machine that can fix them effectively. This is, again, the level of our conversation is so bad out there. The fact that we even have to just talk about this is bad. So thank you, Mr. Arceo. You're bringing up important issues.
You know, the issue about drugs, you know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that, you know, the postal people, the federal government, take care of the post office. They intercept the drugs coming in.
Right.
As well as federal employees at the airport.
They're doing their job.
Intercept drugs coming in with passengers.
Right.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that there's still drugs on the island. Where are they coming from?
Exactly.
So think about
you said exactly.
More than half of the drugs that are coming in is coming in from the port.
Exactly.
So, so think about it, is that are people closing their eyes and saying, oh, well, you know, we don't want to do this and that because it's, well, I always thought that they want to do as much as they can, but I don't think so.
I'm a bit more cynical than you, former Officer Arceo. I think that if they're turning their eye to it, either they've been compromised and are being paid off by these death dealers, or they don't belong in that position and should be removed, period, or both of them. But that's the type of conversation we need to have in our public right now, is to identify the problem, and clearly they're coming through the port because the price is too low. If you got some coming through the post office, some coming through the the airlines, that doesn't support the quantity and the low price. This is simple economics. Because there's so much quantity on Guam, the price has gone down, and we saw it come down even more. I'm hearing meth addicts talking about $10 a puff. That is the type of distribution we have. 6 tokes, you can get either 6 tokes and get addicted and be on your way to killing yourself, or you can go get a pack of beer. That's the type of availability that's out there. My job is to increase that price. Bottom line, you increase the price by cutting off the supply. Governor, meet with me, like you said you were, but decided not to, and then let's get the x-ray machine and let's get the National Guard in there, because Customs keeps complaining about not having enough officers, and get those dogs that the Opioid Council, with the Lieutenant Governor and the Speaker Talahi at the time and the Opioid Council, we had 18 dogs that we fully funded. Whatever Customs wanted, I got the quotes from them. We had the procurement authorized in February of 2023, and we were calling Customs every few months and saying, where are the dogs, where are the dogs, where are the dogs? A year and a half later, we see 9 dogs of the 18, and they're even saying that a few of them were funded from something else. What's going on? As a law enforcer, as the chief law enforcement officer on Guam, elected by our people, I'm smelling a rat somewhere. So that's the type of conversation we need to have. If you can't do the job for whatever reason, you don't belong to be in that position. That's the bottom line. That's what the people demand in our lifetimes.
Well, basically, I agree with you. And like I said, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that it's coming in from somewhere.
You speak the truth.
If there's a bigger leak, you know, you plug up all the leaks, but then you kind of like, oh, I don't want to deal with this leak here because that's too big.
Or I'm scared.
Let's deal with the big leak and take care of it also.
The governor of Guam is the elected official that is answerable to the people of Guam directly, not her press secretary. But the governor address us as a elected leader and tell us why you're not cleaning that port up. When she did that interview that she said 3 to 4 hours, that's not true, and I'll put it nicely. You put us all at the table as law enforcement officers and attorneys that we have the solutions and we can work around whatever the problems are, and we will stop the meth coming through that port. There's meth coming through the port, like you're saying. It's common sense.
You know, regarding homeless situations, my wife and I feel very, basically taken with homeless people. This Just last night we're having dinner at Wendy's. This guy walks in and he sits down and starts opening up the sugar packets and started putting it in his mouth. So I decided to go over there and ask him, does he want something to eat? And because my wife inquired, did he get him something to eat because I think he's hungry.
Very good of you.
And I bought him a burger and a meal and everything else, and the guy was gobbling it down like it was nobody's business. But the thing about it is that, I'll offer these people something, but something to eat. I don't want to just give them money and say, here we go.
I'm hearing
I'm
that.
not sure what they're going to buy.
Right, I'm hearing that.
So, we still, I still feel sorry for a lot of these homeless people, but things are very hard, I guess, for them. And I agree with what one of the real estate agent said, that yes, we could help them and provide for them, but we got to teach them how to do what they need to do to survive also. So it's like feeding a person fish, but then you got to teach them how to go catch fish also.
Right, the biblical passage. Right. Mr. Arceo, this is why are you having to pay for their meal? Your taxes that you paid to the governor's control and her people that are getting very nice salaries at their different departments, they should have been there. The Guam Homeless Coalition should have been there, have a hotline, say that I see this homeless person, can you guys come down here and just talk to them, see if they really need help. The goodness of our hearts, each individual, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't do it, but you raise those issues. I get talked to all the time. These people are not really poor. They want to take it and go buy beer or go buy cigarettes or something with the money that you give them. That's why taking them to this tent city from an entire government of Guam perspective, if you want to take care of all these homeless and all the encampments, focus it in one processing area. It's not really a tent city. It's a processing facility. And I think that would be a better characterization. So it's not distorted by some Guam Homeless Coalition social worker telling me that, hey, you don't understand this and, it's more complicated. Have a facility, fix it, and let's move on to a bigger conversation. Let's talk about how we can generate revenue and improve the amount of income coming to every middle class and lower class. How can we get those people out of GURA, those generational GURA recipients? We got to stop this culture of handouts. The Chamorro people are a dignified people, and that's what we're all taught. We do not like handouts. We want to work for what we receive. That is the American way, and I think that is the problem with our leaders. They're not focusing upon effective ways to deal with the problem. That's a problem right now, but we need to also focus upon bringing money into Guam. That's why I use that example. Singapore, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. They're island nations around us, and look at the Philippines. The amount of commerce that's now becoming the Philippines. We have a community. Half of our community is Filipino now. Take that power and the strength of our smart people here, including the Chamorros, and get us off welfare. Get us out of that rut that we're in and show us a future. And I'm even talking about get our people, talk to the governor, go talk to the new administration, the admiral and the general, and tell them, can't we let people with prior criminal convictions work at those construction companies up there? They need the people. We should not be bringing in H-2 workers into Guam when you have the Department of Corrections and everybody that's got a criminal offense. The governor of Guam can talk to the generals and let alone Department of Interior and Department of Defense Secretary, because she's in D.C. a lot. Give a waiver to anyone that has a prior criminal conviction and is trying to make a living for themselves. All I ever hear is, they're not going to be allowed into the military. Well, find a way to get them in the military. The military has a bigger problem right now with those Chinese that are coming in every night over those reefs that are going to blow up their facilities, take out our infrastructure if the Chinese ever decided to do anything or if Taiwan heats up. This is we got to stop thinking provincial as leaders and start thinking about how to generate more revenue. The wealth of nations, capitalism, democracy, the American way, the American dream. This is what we need to talk about. Thank you.
Okay, well,
thank you, Mr.
I guess thank you very much, and I guess I'll give room for the next caller to call in.
Thank you, Mr. Arceo.
Thank you, Mr. Arceo.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's stop. Dice, we're at the bottom of the hour. We got another caller yet? No, not we're clear. Okay, we're clear. So we're going to take a break. I'm Dave Duenas with Doug Morling, our elected Attorney General, and you're busy. maybe.
Yeah. All these issues, daily issues with us.
Really good stuff. I really appreciate the listeners out there giving us a call and getting their questions.
Good questions.
Yeah.
And thank them. I thank the callers
and
for.
I like your analogy. Tent city, maybe
Transition facility, yeah.
Processing
facility. That is
not
what it
only
is.
you kill two birds with one stone.
Right.
They get fed, they get showered, they
Right.
get a bed for a
Opportunity.
night, and then they get an opportunity to apply for a job or whatever.
And work brings dignity.
There you go.
It's common sense. It's what
That's-
we are all human beings that want to contribute. We're not evil in nature.
Yes.
Given the wrong situation, you will be forced into it, and that's what you're doing with the homeless.
Thank you, Doug. Well, stick around, listeners. We got more of A.G. Moylan in the studio. I'm going to keep him here just a little bit longer. I hope you don't mind, Doug. In the meantime, we are KGUM and Mornings with Patti with me, Dave Duenas.
Buenas and Hafa Adai. Eduquentas is now every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tune in at 105.1 Wave FM to listen to Eduquentas. Eduquentas is a special initiative by Guam Department of Education dedicated to shining the light on the incredible achievements of our students, teachers, and staff. Once again, join us on Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Wave 105.1, the sound of Guam.
One pill can kill. Fake pills often contain fentanyl. It only takes 2 milligrams of fentanyl, equivalent to a few grains of salt, to be lethal. Fake pills are often sold on social media platforms, making them available to anyone with a smartphone.
Talk early and often to youth about the dangers of misusing prescription drugs and the lethal dangers of counterfeit drugs laced with fentanyl.
Stay informed, stay safe. One pill can kill.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the radio stations of Glimpses Media Group, Wave 105 FM and Power 98.
Hafa Adai, Guam, Johnny Atulai here, inviting you to tune in to Vet Talk Show every Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join the wave of conversation where Miss Bobby and I address veterans' concerns and benefits for you, only on Wave 105.1 FM.
Nothing but the best. Wave 105 FM.
It's got a good beat there, I got to say. Welcome back to the show. I'm Dave Duenas, sitting in for Patti in the morning as she takes care of business and hoping for a speedy recovery, Patti. Get back and do what you do best.
Yes.
In the meantime, covering all the bases with our elected Attorney General. Thank you, Doug, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come in and discuss some of the things that you're involved in.
You're welcome.
And there's a bunch.
We haven't really touched on the Deport Air project.
Nothing.
This whole the new administration, Trump coming in,
Mm-hmm.
the good people at Department of Homeland Security with ICE,
Mhm.
and how they've worked with us for 2 years, despite the Biden administration
Mhm.
and everything you hear in the states where they're opening the floodgates. I have to thank Officer Sayama and the good people at the federal ICE on Guam, and as well as the Department of Corrections. You've got Major Anton Ogden, and obviously the new director with the chief, Fred Berdalio. Those are the type of people that are keeping us safe in our community. And the fact that since I took office, the Department of Corrections is now overcrowded, and that's their situation right now, at least as the director characterizes it, is a reaffirmation that what we're doing at the Attorney General's office, along with our juries and the judges, is making a difference. We're separating people that are criminals from our good law-abiding people.
Please do.
That is that is the walking orders, the mantra, the battle cry of every prosecutor and every paralegal investigator at the AG's office. It requires a very concise team put together, a very action-oriented team, and I'm not an easy person to work for. But I mean, hey, I'm only a temporary employee. I promised the people that voted for me that I was going to do something, and I need to do it. And I need a good team that's capable of doing this. This is not, like I say, the Parks and Rec. This is a law firm, and we are a public law firm. No law firm on Guam can prosecute people. It's only the people's law firm, the Attorney General, that is the chief prosecutor.
Yeah, well, I, for one, I appreciate what you do.
Thank you, Dave.
I think you're doing a great job. It's not an easy job.
Right.
You know?
With a team, with our team, we're doing a great job.
And, you know, detractors that will say, well, nobody wants to work with him.
Well,
because you demand
results.
Yes, there you go. Thank you.
That's it. And that's why I say that the litmus test that I'm seeing is that we are protecting the people out there because the crime, the incarceration rate is going up at DOC. And I'm talking even pre-trial and post-trial. So that's the conversation. The catch release, a reoffend report that we issue every month is reflecting that. So, yeah, we're going to keep doing it. We got to see what works, what doesn't work. We got to see if certain people are a good fit for the office. Other people, maybe this isn't the right fit for you. You know, that's how we're approaching things. I have a very active recruiting that's going on, especially off island, bringing in the best and the brightest to Guam.
Okay. We do have a caller.
Sure.
Hi, caller. Good morning. Buenas.
Hello.
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 Good morning.
Morning. Buenas.
Yes, I got to give credit where credit is due. You know, the AG is really good at defrauding the people and lying to them about what's really going on. You know, the reason why the prisons are overfilled is because we have a gummed up system because of a lack of prosecutors. We don't have enough prosecutors to process the plea agreements, to negotiate the plea agreements, to even show up at court. So that's why we haven't overcrowded. I mean, the presiding judge just said last week, you know, to the prosecutor that was there, you know, you guys don't want to release these people yet. You guys don't give plea offers. You guys don't give plea agreements. And so they're just lingering and waiting in prison because your office is inept. So that's the reality. And I want to hear who these 15 prosecutors are because they don't show up to court. I don't know where they go. You know, I'm in court every day.
May I identify who this is?
Because they've been sitting on these cases
no,
3 years old,
yourself?
and
what is your name?
They're not getting prosecuted. So we've had dismissals, record dismissals, and even the AG's office is asking for dismissals, asking for more time for cases
who is
because
this?
of a lack of prosecutors.
Who am I speaking to?
This is Pete Santos.
Pete, are you a government employee?
I am a government employee.
Isn't it 8:30 right now? 8:38?
Yes, it is. And what?
Aren't you supposed to be in court and representing your department? Aren't you a government employee?
And what, Doug? You want to hire your fiance for $123,000 a year when she's a realtor, and then your brother for $120,000 of taxpayer money, and then you want to just tell the public, oh, it's okay, I can do whatever I want. You know, you're right. You can do whatever you want, Doug, because everybody's too chicken and scared to go up against you because they know how
Pete, I think you should be
how
at work
willing
right
you
now,
are
shouldn't
to
you?
abuse your authority. Put it that way.
Pete, why don't you call in before 8 o'clock or after 5, because you are a government employee. The people are paying you your salary, and I don't think that you're authorized.
I was working
Who's your
until
boss,
10 o'clock last night, so don't give me that, Doug.
Who's your boss? Is that Annie Gale, the alternate
Yes,
public
Annie
defender?
Gale is my boss.
So aren't you
And
supposed
what?
to be at work representing your clients?
I am at work.
Are you
And
representing
so
your
what?
clients
I can't
right
make
now?
a phone call?
Pete, I don't think...
So you want to silence me, Doug?
You're a government employee, Pete. You should be at work working.
Doug,
You know, I'm
should
sorry.
not be lying to the public about what's really going on.
I disagree
Okay?
with you, Pete. I'll put it as simple as that.
Joshua dead because of you.
I'll put it this way, Pete. I disagree with what you're saying. You're
You're
mischaracterizing
delusional,
the truth.
Doug. You're delusional. You don't have, a real touch of reality. What's going on? You have this reality that's in your head, and the people of Guam are suffering for it, Doug.
And paying you right now, Pete, I hope you
And
you
paying
realize
your
that.
brother $120,000 a year to do what? And paying your fiance $123,000 a year to do what? To bring in prosecutors that stay less than 2 months?
I disagree
How
with
many
you, Pete.
prosecutors have come and gone, Doug? Put out the numbers. You know, you like to talk about a winning trial record. Doug, there's been more acquittals and
I think you've lost more cases than any other defense
failed
attorney
to
before
put that
my
in your press
prosecutor
release.
speak.
You selectively leave that out of your press releases.
Pete, I think you've lost more cases than
gaslighting
any
the public,
other
Doug.
defense attorney
You're
in the 2
gaslighting
years
the
I've been
public.
here. So, Pete, you know, we are. I don't want to argue with you, Pete. I disagree with much of what you said. I am answerable to the people of Guam, just as
You don't
are.
understand how things work because
You
you're
are-
inexperienced in this realm.
You are. Oh, this is coming. How many years have you been an attorney, Pete? Were you an attorney general before? You know, Pete, you got to face reality of
Just
what
because you
you're
were
saying.
born with a silver spoon in your mouth and you have a Moylan last name doesn't make you, a good attorney. You're a terrible attorney,
Pete,
and you're a horrible AG.
I'm not the Rich Moylans. You're talking Kaleo Moylan, Kurt Moylan, F.L. Moylan. My dad is Richard. I worked for my way into school and through school, okay? I used to cut yards. I used to water blast roofs. Our conversation is just getting personal, Pete. I'm going to leave it like that.
No, it's that I don't like it when people will
Go to
use
work, Pete.
abuse
Get back to the
authority
job.
and lie to the public for their benefit, for their personal gain, and for their public image.
Go
All right.
help the defense.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you for the call. We
the
got other
defendants.
callers we could try to get in for the top of the hour. Thank you so much. And Dice, who do we have next coming up?
Peter, thank you for the call. We got other
Hafa Adai.
Hi, this is Tello.
Hi, Tello. Tello.
Hey.
As in,
Yeah.
I only know one Tello. Is this the Tello that I know?
Yes,
Good
this
morning,
is a
Senator.
Tello you know.
Tell it to Tello type thing?
Exactly.
I agree and expect results, right?
Hi, Senator. How you doing?
Hafa, gee, it was a pleasure to hear the show this morning, hear a different perspective for your listeners on the morning hour on the wave. And
Thank you.
someone was saying that Doug was on and he has the oversight to meet with Attorney General Moylan. And it was a great pleasure. I mean, I thought what was taking just a courtesy call was an hour. It almost took 2 hours just to go through all the things that he's doing. And, I'm very impressed what he's doing. I mean, if you look at the prior AGs that have been in office, nobody has done this much, has been this aggressive and this outspoken than this Attorney General. And like he said, he might not be sitting in this, next term, or if he does, I hope he does run again because he's doing a great job. But, it's about setting a precedence for the next Attorney General coming in. And obviously, you don't have people who are actually giving good, sound advice on how to move forward and what we can do. All they can do is come online and complain.
Right.
And use personal comments, and when I heard my name, when Pete Santos came on and using my name constantly about like I'm such a bad person, well, I think the people of Guam have spoken. And even though it was a low voting turnout, I think those who are paying attention and hopefully encourage everyone else to come out and vote, I think they've spoken. They senators accountable, and then when the Attorney General, we want to keep our Attorney General accountable, and transparency is very, very important.
Absolutely.
And I think Doug is doing that. He's being transparent. I mean, there's so many other areas that he didn't touch on that he's working on, and definitely he needs the assistance from more employees coming in. But, this thing with, Pete coming on and making this personal, it is not personal. We all work and strive to do the best we can for the people. That's what we're elected. And we allow the people of Guam to be the judge, not one individual, Peter Santos, to come. It's so disrespectful. And if he had something really sound, like criminals, going up. Look at Chris Barnett, for an example. Chris Barnett, he has done so much in the first-term senator to clean up decades of neglect for our DOE schools.
Absolutely.
Right.
Decades. And a one-term senator coming in here, doing the job to finally making a safer environment, trying to clean up DOE. I mean, he basically set the path for the next oversight chair for DOE just to follow what he put together, his agenda. And I hope that this chair continues on with the monthly briefings that Senator Barnett had put in place for DOE to keep them accountable. Not just say it, let it go, and forget about it. I got my media soundbite, and then I'm gone. No, it's about staying on top. Follow through is just as important as anything you do when working on any project. So follow through is important. So first, kudos to what Attorney General Moylan is doing, what he's doing the best he can, and what works. So these individuals he hired, they are qualified. Unless
Absolutely.
you can tell me they're not qualified to do a job, go look at every single hire at the administration and tell me if they're qualified to do those jobs. No. Nobody brings that up, do they?
The proof is in the productivity of our AG's office. And that's why
exactly.
we
hi,
need
Doug.
a certain...
You're still on. Oh,
yes.
I thought you...
No.
Okay.
Good morning, Madam Oversight Chair. And thank you. And, I have to give you a public shout-out and a public commendation from the Attorney General of Guam that was elected, and who my client, on behalf of my client, the people of Guam, Senator, for how supportive you personally were in a Republican minority the past 2 years. Thank you for speaking out. I was at all those public hearings when you said what needed to be said on the record, supporting the people's attorney to keep us safe. And I'm overjoyed the fact that the senators, the good senators, and the new legislature, all of them, because I was at the inauguration, wanted you to be the oversight chair of justice. And that word,
I appreciate that.
and including the public defender and the alternate public defender, because people are innocent until proven guilty, and before we take them into that court, they need their representation, and to put you in that position, knowing how important it is. And it all comes down to the crime victim, Senator, as you know, is protecting us out there at night. This whole thing where Dave was mentioning, we got to tell our daughters, our wives, our girlfriends, our fiancés to watch yourself at night. Don't go there. And, these are typical, even in these restaurants, be careful because the meth addicts are all over the place. We saw that in the Valentine's Day murder. They killed that innocent woman just to get money for meth. This is the stuff that you're now dealing with. That was 300
yards from where I live,
exactly.
by the way.
Wow.
That was only 300 yards from where I live that it happened, that shooting happened. I mean, I drive by there every day to go home, and it's very scary, but I greatly appreciate all the hard work you're doing, Doug, especially pushing toward the port.
Thank you.
And the importation of these drugs going in. And two, for those listening, you can't do a good job unless you make noise, unless you finally, everyone who stays silent because they're afraid to, push the dust off the floor or move anything because, I don't want to get ridiculed. No, you can't do a good job unless you make that noise, unless you do something. And it comes to a point where in drastic times, we're in situations where we have to take drastic measures to move forward. Whether it works or not, we've got to try.
Exactly.
You can't just sit and constantly talk about the issues.
Right.
DOC, we decided to give some money to DOC to help the overcrowdedness. We gave some money there, allowing them to use, I believe, about $2 million. Dollars taking out from the building of the new DOC to get that going. And we're doing everything we can to ensure the safety and well-being of of our island. And Doug, keep going, doing what you do, because we elected you, and we will also keep you accountable for what you do. And anybody who says anything different, that's their prerogative. Everybody has an opinion.
Yes, they do.
And it's the results.
Right.
It's the results that matter. You didn't even touch on deportation, and that was one of the big things. I know during the Calvo administration, deportation, one of the biggest things that the Calvo administration pushed forward to, and it was successful.
Yes.
We were taking those, we were alleviating the overcrowdedness at our and the cost of housing these criminals over at DOC and sending them. to where they come. And we have a compact impact agreement that requires them to come to Guam, to have a job. If they don't, and if they commit a crime, it actually gives us the authority to send them back.
Exactly.
So we need to take advantage of this.
Yes.
But anyways, I don't mean to
No, Senator,
jump in.
please
I think
speak.
Dave called me earlier to ask me about my bills that are coming up,
Yes.
and so I just thought I'd jump in because I heard my name.
Senator, speaking of that, yesterday was the first day you guys were able to upload, I guess is the right word, to upload?
Yes, upload, yep.
Yeah,
yep,
so a number of senators, I know Senator Barnett, Chris Duenas, I think yourself as well, have some bills in the pipeline, correct?
Yes. In fact, the first bill that was introduced is Bill 1-38, and that was a bill to give more money to the Cancer Trust Fund. Actually, it's not just more. It's required and demand that they get at least $4 million every year. We have been neglecting the Cancer Care Trust Fund and the cost of medical care on this island, as well as even going off island, has skyrocketed. Everybody can see that in their premiums. Everybody can see that now when they're going to the doctors, the clinics, or even buying medication. The cost has gone up. Mm-hmm. So what used to cost us, $10 for our prescription is now costing us $15, sometimes $20, and of course sometimes more. But you can see the inflation growing. Now, when that happens, for years, the legislature, and I fought every year to ensure that they get that percentage from the Healthy Futures Fund to them, and they have always been shortchanged until I get on the session floor and say, no, come on, $1 million? Are you kidding me? At least, having people agree at least $2 million. And so now it's done. We are going to legislate this, mandate this, and remind the senators this is a law. 4 million at least. Our cancer patients are not dwindling. We're not having less of cancer patients on this island. There are more.
Right.
And more of our people are leaving this island because of health care, the lack of health care on this island.
Exactly, Senator. The quality of life on Guam has fallen in the past 6 years. You put your finger right on it. When we that get older are having cardiac problems, are needing the cardiac... In my office, I believe, had 2 people in the last year that had to be rushed over to GRMC from off island, and they left because they did not have the health care treatment that they need. I have another one that's looking at leaving because her daughter doesn't have the cardiac treatment here. This is what we're dealing with as a community, and we're all talking about homeless, whether they should be out there in these homeless encampments or not, and that's actually a question for everybody. Are you kidding me? Get them out of there.
This is life or death.
Yeah.
This is life or death, and some of these people can afford to go off island.
We can't wait 20 years.
St. Luke's, but many cannot afford it, and this is where we can come in and assist them. That was the first bill that I introduced, Bill 1, to put that. I introduced 3 more that came in right away. I don't know why it became 14, 15, but we were there early in the morning to make sure that our bills came in and get started. And, of course, the other bills that I'm going to be introducing that I need to get done right away is I'm the oversight chair of Guam Election Commission. And these bills need to get heard this year. I'm not going to be introducing any bills for election, anything that has to do with election next year, because it's an election year next year. So it's important to push through all the bills now for the Guam Election Commission that they need to put in place.
Exactly. Non-election year.
Yeah, and we're going to need your help on that too, Doug. Just
Absolutely,
to make sure
Senator.
we cross our T's and dot our I's, that we were doing this without losing any rights of our people. An election, keep that free speech and free ability to. We need to look at that. We need to look at cutting costs in all these agencies that we're working with, because the rain is not falling money anymore. I mean, the sky is not raining money anymore.
Well, we had $100 million, Senator, that we could have used to address all these, but now we're doing a dream that's going to be 10 years away. How many people are going to have heart attacks? How many people are going to catch cancer between now and that medical complex? This is what angers me as a resident of Guam, as a Chamorro, as a Guamanian. Half of me is Caucasian, Hawaiian, Chinese. And to see my community, my kids being threatened by not having a facility. GMH, as always, is now being forever known as Get Me to Hawaii. You do not go to
Right,
GMH and
right.
expect to live there. It's a crapshoot going to that facility. And that's because of our governor. Take the $100 million and put it to where we need it today and not in 20 years. And $100 million is a drop in the bucket. You need at least $900 to $1 billion more to finish her dream, her legacy, her hubris, her pride. That is what comes before our fall. It's not going to be her fall. It's going to be everybody that has a manamko, a grandfather, a grandmother, that when they go to that facility, that $100 million could have been used for that, Senator. You know, and you know it,
Yes,
I know
absolutely.
it. It's just, what's going on?
What's so frustrating, too, I think, with this administration, constantly, we've tried it twice. We've listened to her to say, hey, come to the table, let's talk about it. The last time we did that when the ARP funding came in, to talk about what we can do with this ARP funding to better our island and put it in areas that are already critical, as well as make sure we spend this correctly so that we don't have to pay it back to federal government if it's done incorrectly, like some of these grants we're doing, Homeland Security, hence, in parentheses. But it was important to come to the table and talk together. We did that. And what did she do? She just turned a blind eye.
It's called
She didn't even take our
Alcalde, Senator.
suggestions and didn't listen to it. And she constantly said, we need to get together. Okay, this is a new legislature. This is a new beginning where she's now forced to work with the Republicans and the majority now and sit down at the table. But I have not heard I've received invitation to say, okay, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Let's have a sit-down. Let's make it public. Let's go to the public hearing. Let's do a roundtable, and let's discuss this and hash this out once and for all, instead of doing this back and forth, press releases, like, calling each other's names. No, I understand that the governor has a responsibility of helping this island, but she also needs to realize that the people of Guam need to be heard, as well as the senators who hold the purse strings, and how to make this happen. It's our responsibility. That's the check and balances of this government.
We all need to work together, especially the elected leaders. Appointed people are not elected. The press secretary is not elected. And quite frankly, the governor needs to speak, and she needs to speak with you and every other senator down there, because we are the representatives of this community. And help your people. That is the walking orders of my office. We help people in the AG's office.
Yeah, and I would appreciate if we do have this meeting, it's not closed to the media or to the
Absolutely
public.
not. It's a public debate.
That's very, disingenuous. I mean, what you're going to say to us, the people should hear too as well.
Right.
We represent the people. I'm not going to go into a meeting that's closed and not allowed to be, transparent, and then come out and try to repeat what he says, and she says, oh, I never said that kind of. No. We allow the people of Guam to make that decision because they hold us accountable for what we do.
Democracy.
And if we're not doing that job, then they have every right not to elect us in, or they have every right, to file a legitimate complaint, not because I don't like you or I'm running for that office next term, so I'm going to discredit you so that they will choose me. And that's the worst thing. So my advice to Peter Santos, if you're going to get online, start talking about solutions, real things, instead of taking people down. Let's hear your ideas.
Right.
Let's do it that way. You ran for AG twice. Why don't you run for senator? That and become a senator and show the people what you can do. Take those steps. And I hope you do a good job. I pray you do a good job.
Senator?
Because that's what we need. My generation, we are aging out.
Yeah, Senator,
We
we're
are
at the top of
aging
the
out.
hour.
We're not going to be here. We need that next generation to finally step up. Yep.
We're going to need to take a break real quick.
Sure. Sorry about that.
Before we do, you brought up something real quick. I'm going to bring it up quicker than that. The Homeland Security thing, with the Senator Gumatauto, didn't he schedule a public hearing coming up?
Yes, he did, but unfortunately he didn't put a time frame on that. I believe it's 24th of January. I sent a letter requesting an oversight, and so I'm glad he's doing it, but unfortunately we're just waiting for the time now. He says the 24th, so I'm hoping he puts a time. He needs to remember there's an open government law that allows that 5-day notice, so let's get that timeline in there, and we'll look at it. So I'm anxious to see that, because it's more than just that OPA report. I mean, that it's in Attorney General's office
We have
on the overtime. He's overseeing that one, but we're talking about the expenditures.
Yeah, I
using
think,
it. There's tons more things on that one, but I too have a family funeral I have to go to. But I just want to thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I hope that I shed light on some of the things. I look forward to working with all the agencies I oversee. I met with OTEC. I'm meeting Rev Tax today. I've met with the judicial branch. I'm meeting with all these areas and finding their needs. And believe me, the one area that really needs assistance at this point right now is OTEC technology. Because if anything's going to happen to our island that will cripple us big time is cyber attacks. And right now, our technology does not have the means to be able to ensure the safety and well-being of our island when it comes to cybersecurity. And everyone uses things on the internet. So we need to beef up our technology on this island.
Thank you,
hopefully
Senator.
we can get some assistance from DOD as well as DOI and to do that. But thank you. Create a great day, everyone. And thank you, Dave. I hope you get Chris Barnett on, and get those people who usually aren't on the Patti Arroyo show to talk and hear their side of the coin on this and tell you what your audience, what they're doing. And it's great. Call me anytime, Dave. Thank you. And Attorney Moylan, thank you so much for all your hard work and dedication to the people of Guam.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you too, Senator. Thank you.
Yeah, and just for clarification, this is Patti in the Morning Show. I'm just sitting in. But, if I'm sitting in this chair, whether I'm sitting in for the regular host, I will call people that I
All
feel
voices need to be heard.
Yeah, the public needs to be, the listeners need to hear what's going on with the drugs, what's going on with the schools, what's going on with illegal immigrants coming to our island, selling drugs now, all of these stuff. And I'll be more than happy to invite them in. So in the meantime, I'm Dave Duenas. Thank you for tuning in. We are KGUM Agana, the Wave 105.1. We'll be right back.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Matt Piper. There are fears the firefight in Southern California is about to get worse, as officials are warning of the possibility of really strong winds that could spark wildfires yet again. Battalion Chief Eric Stamm is responding to the Palisades fire and says flying embers are a big concern.
If you look at Pacific Coast Highway, the fire jumped 5 lanes. That's huge. That's massive. So that's the concern.
Correspondent Lilia Luciano was looking ahead.
The predictions for the red flag warnings and the very extreme fire conditions are going to worsen overnight, beginning at around 4 a.m. Tomorrow morning. Right before dawn is when we expect that worst of those winds, up to maybe 60 miles an hour, to start really hitting this area.
The entertainment industry is feeling the effects of the fires. Universal Music Group says it's canceling all of its Grammy-related events, including the after-Grammy party. As for the Oscars,
we'll still hear this.
The Oscar goes to...
Over and over is planned on March 2nd, but we'll have to wait to find out who's actually nominated for the Oscars. The Motion Picture Academy originally planned to announce the nominees this Friday, then delayed that announcement until Sunday. Now organizers say they're waiting until January 23rd, a week from Thursday. They've also given members extra time to send in their votes for nominations until this Friday. Peter King, CBS News.
Qatar reportedly gave both Israel and Hamas a draft today of a ceasefire agreement to end the war in Gaza. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan.
That broad framework includes the phases. It includes prisoner exchange for hostages. It includes a surge of humanitarian assistance once the guns go quiet, which we will be able to move trucks much more rapidly.
A company linked to conspiracy theorist Alex Jones is now offering more than $7 million to buy his InfoWars platforms as part of his bankruptcy. It comes after a judge rejected the sale of InfoWars to The Onion satirical news outlet. President Biden has approved student loan relief for more than 150,000 borrowers. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre.
This announcement builds on the historic actions our administration has taken to reduce the burden of student debt, hold bad actors accountable, and fight on behalf of students across the country.
The Biden administration has now canceled the student debt of 5 million people. Japan issued a tsunami advisory after a magnitude 6.6 earthquake struck the southwest of the country. The public warnings to stay away from coastal areas were later lifted. From American Idol to America the Beautiful. Carrie Underwood is set to perform at next week's inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump. The Dow gained 358. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-230-2777. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-230-2777, 800-230-2777, or biglou.com.
Texas orders the flags to fly full staff during the Trump inauguration, despite the 30-day order by President Biden to honor late former President Jimmy Carter.
Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott ordered the flags to be raised on January 20th, saying, while we honor the service of a former president, Jimmy Carter, we must also celebrate the service of an incoming president.
I think Abbott is signaling fealty and loyalty to Donald Trump. Donald Trump would prefer that flags not be at half-staff.
Rice University political scientist Mark Jones.
Now that Abbott has done it, there's going to be pressure certainly on Republican governors throughout the country.
Chris Fox, for CBS News, Austin.
An annual architecture celebration of ice is up and running again in New Hampshire and several other states. Ice castles, which are both temporary art installations and tourist attractions, feature towers, tunnels, archways, and caves. They're all created by growing, harvesting, and arranging thousands of icicles, then blasting them with sprinklers. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Attention taxpayers. If you or your business owe the IRS back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, the IRS has green-lighted billions of dollars in tax relief to those facing financial hardship through its tax relief initiatives. If you have a delinquent tax problem and possibly facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, audits, or already in a payment plan, you may now qualify for significant relief. Qualifying and enrolling in this program could stop all collections, settle your tax problem, and may even reduce what you owe by up to 99%. Call the hotline at Tax Help USA to see if you qualify by dialing 800-437-0109. If you or your business owe at least $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS or state, you can now get the help that you need during these hard economic times. Call Tax Help USA to get your free tax assessment to see what you qualify for by dialing 800-437-0109. 800-437-0109. That's 800-437-0109.
Last I checked, only Jack in the Box has a meal with your choice of entree and 2 sides, even breakfasty ones, plus a drink served all day. I'll check again. Yep, just me. At Jack, every bite's a big deal. Limited time only. Participation may vary.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
You're rocking it.
Yes, sir. We're doing the best we can. Good morning, Dave. You're doing a great job.
Good morning. Good morning, Guam.
You're here.
Yeah, good morning, Doug. You still with us?
Absolutely. Doing a great job. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate it.
Let the people hear the issues.
I do the best I can. But welcome back to the show. Dave Duenas sitting in for Patti in the morning. And I got real lucky. I got stuck with Dice, the best producer in the world.
We try.
Exactly.
We try. Thanks, guys.
Doing very well at it.
Thank you,
we do have a caller. I've been waiting for this guy, new freshman senator, no stranger to the people of Guam, Senator Sean Gumatauta. Hafa Adai.
Hey, good morning, Doug. Good morning there, Dave. And waiting, I'm like the easiest guy to find.
Hafa Adai. Congratulations,
Hafa Adai.
Senator.
Hey, thank you, A.G. Moylan. Appreciate you.
You as well.
Yeah, I wanted to touch base with you, Senator, about this. I just know a little bit about it, and I wanted to get it straight from you, the author of this bill, concerning increasing the insurance.
Okay, you have a question?
Yeah, I barely touched on it. I barely read a little bit about it. It's currently
Dave.
It's currently 10,000, correct?
Yeah, yes, Dave, and thanks for your interest in it. I think we see all too often across the government, especially from our law enforcement folks, that when they wake up in the morning, their families, their wives, husbands, significant others, they kiss them goodbye, and then off they go to tackle some of the most important and probably some of the most demanding issues that face our community. And I know the Attorney General knows all too well what that means. And
Exactly.
my initial thought was, when they leave home and some God forbid something happens, the one way that this government can really truly support these families at these most difficult times is to, especially on the life insurance side, to be able to help them. It's something that I think, in terms of recruitment and retention, does go a long way in ensuring to their families, Dave, is that when they leave, something must happen, and our government should and will have their back.
And that increase would be up to 100,000, I understand?
Yes, and so obviously it's when they're killed in the line of duty. And I know that, maybe, people might be saying this is a long time coming, considering every year we have a ceremony to honor our fallen officers from all of the different law enforcement agencies.
Yes.
I know the AG's been there, and he's showed so much respect to all these folks who have died in support of our community, and we just got to do a better job as a government to support our law enforcement folks. And this goes for every single person. I know that the AG has his investigators out there doing the exact same thing, and they do go in harm's way, and we want to make sure that something happens, that this government has their back, and especially, most importantly, the families. And I know the AG is, I know he's been in other venues talking about victims, but also we cannot forget the families of all of our law enforcement people that are out there serving today.
This is a gold star type of legislation that I think the entire America, our entire nation, is beginning to recognize the importance of law enforcement. The fact they put themselves in harm's way, men and women out there, and whoever's a peace officer. So in the line of duty, if they give the greatest gift to our community, then this is a good bill. It's a recognition of what it means to be a law enforcement officer in our community.
No, thanks, A.G. Moylan, and I really appreciate the. I know it's early on, and one of the things that, it's only been a couple of days we've been in office, and I really just think that we just have to do more to recruit and retain our law enforcement folks. And I think, Dave, this is really that very first step for me as a lawmaker, as a policymaker. I want to be able to, listen and be a lot more responsive to the needs of our law enforcement community.
Fantastic. Any other bills you got in the pike?
Yeah, the other one is the rollback of the Business Privilege Tax.
Oh,
I know that.
Here.
I think you said it on the campaign trail, Dave, and I know the Attorney General. He's been.
I believe in that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that for all of us as a community, I think I've already, since the introduction, getting some great comments from folks. My WhatsApp is blowing up. The inquiries to my office, which is awesome. I think that when we think about the small business community and the middle-sized businesses, I think there are some will say, hey, well, what about pricing and the like? But listen, the investment back into our businesses in Guam is going to come back and then some.
Reaganomics.
And absolutely, we got to do our better job for us as well to the rest of that community. And during the pandemic, yes, I saw a lot of industries that were really, were centered on them, but there was quite a number of other businesses and the like, and I helped hundreds of them over the pandemic and since to get, on their feet. And I have friends who are trying to hire folks in the service industry, and I just heard today that one other restaurant in Tumon shut down, I believe it is, And we just gotta we can't forget that these businesses, if they get this infusion of money, they're going to turn around and invest it right back into their business. So I'm hoping that our community can get behind this. I know there's some in the government with some trepidation, but quite honestly, we need to look at the priorities, and this should be one of them.
Jumpstart.
You know what, Senator? Isn't there? And I apologize, I don't know who it is. Isn't there a bill that's being introduced wanting to increase the minimum wage?
Dave, we cannot legislate prosperity. I think we got to continue to encourage our folks to listen to our industry,
listen capitalism.
To those. And I know that the government's not the only folks in town. We got to do a better job of listening to our industry, and I think that I'm not saying that we should raise it, but my goodness, with the service industry and many things in the economy, we got to take one step at a time.
Well,
this is an important first step.
Yeah, I brought it up purposely because in reference to the BPT, currently 5, to lower it down to 4, and I think, my opinion, it would allow some of these bigger businesses to take that 1% savings and utilize it towards either hiring or increasing the salary of the incoming employees.
But also the training, Dave. Don't forget about the fleets. What about their facilities? What about some of the services that they provide? I think that the 1% goes back into them, and it's going to go a long way, and it's going to have a trickle-down effect to the entirety of the economy. I think we've been waiting since, 2018?
Correct.
It's time that we need to, we need to, not only do we need to help our businesses, but we need to have a really hard and very frank discussion about the current finances of our government in support of the folks that are, that utilize our services. And I think that's going to be part of that, too.
Yeah, it's well said, Senator. Before you called up, beginning of the show, I brought it up about the BPT, reducing it.
Sure.
And, the government will argue, because they have argued it with me on different radio shows I've done, is that, it's going to mean less revenues for the government. I said, yes. But when you have a surplus every single quarter and a record high general revenue fund, taxes, $1.3 billion was it last year? I think it's time we lower it down and give the people, hopefully the consumers, the retailers, a break.
Fulfill the Republican promise. That was a promise made by the Republicans.
Yeah, absolutely. And but not to mention, there was a couple of activities that kind of helped spur that. Don't forget, and I don't think he gets that much more credit for it, but when former Congressman Mike Siniclas was in Congress, he was able to get the earned income tax credit funded by the federal government. That took off the board for many people, $60 million for Guam. And then, so what was the end game? We started to hire. And I wasn't in any position to say we shouldn't be hiring. We should be, investing back into our community. And now I'm in a position to be able to say just that. And I'm excited about the discussions. I'm excited about the engagement. And, let's, we just need to reinvest back into the lifeblood of this economy, which I think maybe instead of the the minimum wage, we should be, after this particular effort, we have to maybe focus on the tourism plan. Those are things that we got to work on, and the agriculture master plan. We need to start to look at these ways so that we can help. We just can't be a one-trick pony. We got to be able to expand way beyond what we've known and seen for far too long.
Well said. When will be the first session of the 38th?
I think that's a question for our speaker. We work at the call of the speaker, Dave, as you know, and the Attorney General knows. And so we're anticipating to be in soon. I'm hoping that he'll announce the session agenda schedule. I know we've talked about it as a group, but I am not going to get in front of the speaker. I just joined this branch of government. I want to at least keep working for at least beyond the second week of work.
Well, as I
at least
get the public hearings done, right? For the bills.
What's that? Get
the public hearings for the bills all in order, and then put it on the floor, right?
Yes, and that's a great point from the Attorney General. Is we're going to be handling this a little bit differently. in my committee especially, it's about to make sure all the work is done there. So when we go into session, it really is an up or down vote. The committee had done its work. It was diligent. It spent the time to understand all of the issues so that when we present it and it gets to the floor, when it gets past the Committee on Rules, that we're actually just being more efficient with our time. And I think the people of Guam have asked for that. I think we're going to be delivering that in due time.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you. Very good.
No, thanks, Dave. Thanks, Dave, and thanks to all of your listeners, and thanks to obviously Glimpses for continuing to try to get the word out on what we're doing over there. And let me publicly say also to the Attorney General, and I told him privately, I'll tell you publicly, I'm a big fan. So continue the good work, A.G. Moylan.
Likewise, Senator. I think all of us as voters, as residents here, have a very high expectation of our new leadership at the legislature, and the ability to push that public policy that you mentioned with the necessary votes, if necessary. So thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for being in that office.
Thank you, Senator.
No, thank you in advance for all your guys' work, man. Keep up the good work, Dave.
That's stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you. There you go. I couldn't have said it better. That's why I like getting these information out there coming straight from the people that
are answerable, the elected leaders. The elected leaders.
I could have, I got the information and said it myself, but it just has a bigger impact.
It gives dimension.
There you go.
Yeah, both Tello and
I like how we
and
feed
Sean.
off of that. You come up with the right words. It's like, that's exactly what I was thinking about.
That public forum that you offer to us as elected leaders here to talk to my client, our people, our voters, and to inform them. This is the power of the idea, the power to say something, to float an idea, and to have everybody listen to it. This is like a public hearing. The whole purpose of a public hearing.
And the way I like to do things, just me, different talk show hosts do things differently. But, I get everyone's input. You don't have to agree with what I'm saying.
Right. But respect each other.
Exactly.
And that goes even into the law. And I've said that at many of our outreach events and stuff.
Yeah.
If everybody would just truly understand what respect means, don't make things personal. Unless it's necessary to be personal, but I mean respecting people, whether it's religion, families, our interactions as elected leaders.
Yes.
Just respect one another.
It's funny, just mention of that word, because I get, here's the one tomorrow word I'm good at. I get kobla. Every now and then on social media. I'm a big social media type guy. And I get kobla. People will text me something or message me saying, Dave, you like to take the easy way out. The easy route. All you say is, I respect everybody. I want Europe. Where do you stand on this issue? I said, well, that's my stand. It doesn't mean it's yours.
Right.
It's my opinion.
Right. If you have your opinion, then you can voice it.
And if it's different from mine, you better believe I'm going to 100% respect you or your opinion. And you say, well, see, there you go again. You're not being. I said, what do you want me to tell you?
Radio talk show.
With the years doing radio, I learned to listen, number one. And number two is respect.
Yes. Respect you.
If you agree with my opinion on something, great. If you don't, great.
So be it. Yeah.
Yes, move on,
Right.
And anything that I talk about as a talk show host, telephone's right there. You can call up and dispute what I'm saying or
real time.
Correct me if I'm wrong. And 99% of the time when I talk about certain issues, I don't get any calls saying, hey, you're wrong. Or I say, well, I do get the text messages. And I said, well, why don't you come on the air and talk about it?
Right.
But they won't. Anyway, Doug, it's been a pleasure. I know you got meetings you got to attend to as well.
Thank
you for coming in. I think it was an awesome job.
Thank you.
You're welcome, man.
Dave, I appreciate your giving me an opportunity to speak to my client, our public.
The people.
Yes. And, I'm the first one to say I'm not perfect. I'm not an angel.
Likewise.
I'm not perfect. But this is part of the process. I'm a human being, and let's just do good for our people. And as long as I'm in that office, we're going to continue to enforce our laws because that is the people's law. It's not the senator's laws. It's our laws because we put those people in. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. And thank you to Dice also.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Dice.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Can we take a short break while we make some noise while he moves out of here?
Last I checked, only Jack in the Box has a meal with your choice of entree and 2 sides, even breakfasty ones, plus a drink served all day. I'll check again. Yep, just me. At Jack, every bite's a big deal. Limited time only. Participation may vary.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Always here to help you. This island is our home. Through the years, we've been a friend to the neighbors we have known. Now we're banking on the future. No services to choose. Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place roots.
After over 10 years, I think it's time to freshen things up. Attention class of 2025. The next evolution of the Power 98 Senior Challenge is coming. Are you ready to step up? Stay tuned for details.
Pat's Tinting and Detailing offers premier services from complete interior cleaning and VIP detailing. And to keep you cool, Pat's also offers factory, ceramic, blacked out, and base-approved auto tinting. For more information, call 647-SLAM.
Hafa Adai, it's Paulie Suba of Wave 105 and host of The Bright Side. Get ready, because The Bright Side just got brighter. We're hitting the radio waves from 2 to 6 p.m. every weekday, baby. We'll dive into local politics and highlight what's happening in your community. Call into the show or leave a comment and share what's on your mind as we figure out these world problems together. We'll talk to the people that are moving and shaking things up. The Bright Side is brought to you by Vitali's Italian Restaurant, GTA Teleguam, Chili's, Good to Go, and Subway. Take a break from all of that shade and join The Bright Side on Wave 105.
One pill can kill. Fake pills often contain fentanyl. It only takes 2 milligrams of fentanyl, equivalent to a few grains of salt, to be lethal. Fake pills are often sold on social media platforms, making them available to anyone with a smartphone.
Talk early and often to youth about the dangers of misusing prescription drugs and the lethal dangers of counterfeit drugs laced with fentanyl.
Stay informed, stay safe. One pill can kill.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the radio stations of Glimpses Media Group, Wave 105 FM and Power 98.
Hafa Adai, Guam, Johnny Atulai here, inviting you to tune in to Vet Talk Show every Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join the wave of conversation where Miss Bobby and I address veterans' concerns and benefits for you, only on Wave 105.1 FM.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. More Los Angelinos are returning to find homes and neighborhoods wiped out from some of the most destructive wildfires in California history. Avanti Persana grew up in the Palisades.
My elementary school is gone. My high school is half gone. Most of my friends have lost their homes.
Death toll up to at least 24, and the flames are still raging. L.A. County Fire Chief Anthony Marone.
Elevated critical fire weather conditions will continue through Wednesday.
KCBS reporter Matt Bigler is in Malibu.
With the return of Santa Ana winds this week, residents in mandatory evacuation zones won't be able to return home until at least Thursday. LA City Council member Tracy Park says fire and utility crews need to be able to operate freely in the burn zones,
so they can stabilize the conditions on the ground.
Over 150,000 people in Los Angeles County have been evacuated. For those that didn't suffer any burn damage, State Assembly member Jackie Irwin says it's not clear yet if the government will pay their housing costs.
We still do not have confirmation that there might be some reimbursement from FEMA.
The Senate begins confirmation hearings tomorrow for former President-elect Trump's cabinet picks. Republican John Barrasso tells CBS's Face the Nation.
President Trump said the number one goal for the Senate needs to be to get his team in place.
Among them, Pete Hegseth for Defense Secretary, Democratic Senator Mark Kelly on Face the Nation.
He just does not seem to have the qualifications.
Denmark is extending an invitation to President-elect Trump to discuss his concerns about security interests in the Arctic and his vow to extend U.S. frontiers to Greenland, a Danish territory. Speaking in Israel today, the foreign minister said his country is ready to ensure, quote, legitimate American interests. A new push is on to get a ceasefire deal in Gaza. Correspondent Cammie McCormick reports.
The White House has been focused on getting a deal, and President Biden spoke with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu yesterday. President President-elect Trump has also been pushing for an agreement before he takes office. Now, an official close to the talks says there is potential for real progress. They're waiting for Hamas approval. Hamas has been blamed for many failed efforts in the past. The coming days are seen as critical to ending the fighting.
The maiden voyage of Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket was a no-go at Cape Canaveral early this morning.
We are standing down today's launch attempt to troubleshoot a vehicle subsystem issue.
The countdown clock was reset repeatedly before blastoff of the New Glenn was officially scrubbed. No word on when they'll try again. S&P futures down 47. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-230-2777. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-230-2777, 800-230-2777, or biglou.com.
We raise a glass to a celebrated CBS sports announcer.
Congratulations are in order to legendary CBS sportscaster Jim Nance.
Hello, friends. Jim Nance, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson. Great to have you with us.
Nance hit a major milestone Sunday, calling his 500th career NFL game, the AFC wildcard tilt between the Broncos and Bills in Buffalo.
Here comes Allen with the kick and the lead. Oh, what a run by Josh Allen.
Nance becomes the 8th NFL TV play-by-play announcer to reach 500 games, but only the second with all of his games at one network. Erica Herskowitz for CBS News.
Some well-heeled Californians are hiring their own private firefighters to keep their homes safe from the wildfires. The Los Angeles Times says one of them, real estate developer Rick Caruso, has a fire truck, non-potable water trucks, and about a dozen firefighters stationed outside his place in Brentwood. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
The Fed's last scheduled meeting of the year. I'm Mark Hamrick with the Bankrate.com Personal Finance Minute. It will be a week before Christmas that Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell is scheduled to speak before reporters. It is expected he'll announce a modest rate cut of 0.25%. If that happens, it will be following the initial rate cut of 0.5, followed by a smaller quarter-point move. Why would the Fed be cutting? In part because our central bank believes that rates are still too restrictive, even after the cuts. Remember, they raise rates in response to an outburst of post-pandemic inflation, with the consumer price index soaring as much as 9.1% in June of 2022. Many price levels remain elevated, and the just-released consumer price index had a year-over-year increase of 2.7%. That's still above the Fed's 2% target. Observers will be also interested to see what the policymaking group has to say about the outlook for interest rates in 2025 and beyond. For more, check out Bankrate.com. I'm Mark Hamrick.
Last I checked, only Jack in the Box has a meal with your choice of entree and 2 sides, even breakfasty ones, plus a drink served all day. I'll check again. Yep, just me. At Jack, every bite's a big deal. Limited time only. Participation may vary.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show hosts, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
Political status impacts almost every aspect of our lives on Guam, but many are unaware of our right to self-determination and decolonization. What does it mean, and how can it improve our quality of life? Join the conversation, ask some questions, and learn more about your right to self-determination and the 3 legitimate political status options for Guam. Tune in to Challenge the Status Quo every Monday from 10 a.m. to noon on Wave 105.1 FM, presented in partnership with the Mission on Decolonization and Glimpses Media.
Fueling your 2025. Happy New Year from Wave 105 FM.
And welcome back. Welcome back. Hi, Dice.
Hey, how's it going, Dave? Excellent job this morning. Excellent job.
We're near the finish line.
We're almost there. 36 minutes after 9 o'clock.
There you go. 922-1051, 1052. You got something you want to talk about? Give me a call. I'll be the guy to talk to. In the meantime, it's a pleasure being here, sitting in for Patti in the morning. I'm Dave Duenas. We had our elected Attorney General in the studio. We had quite a few calls. Senator Gumatao, Senator Tello, and what I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Have you heard about these it's called the Emergency Rental Assistance.
Emergency rental assistance, okay.
It's administered out of the Department of Administration.
Gotcha.
It's a program. They're in their 6th cycle, I believe.
Okay.
And what it does, Dice, it affords the people of Guam, residents that are having difficulties in paying their rent. It gives them a rental assistance. Of course, you got to apply, and then once you're qualified, you can be given some assistance in paying your rent, arrears, and stuff like that. I was trying to reach out during the break. Unfortunately, nobody was answering at their line. If anyone from the Department of Administration within that department, I would encourage you, give me a call. I know the deadline to apply for this last cycle is coming up in about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks at the max. I apologize, I'm not 100% sure. But if you're listening, Department of Administration, Emergency Rental Assistance folks, I would encourage you to give us a call here at the station, 922-1051 or 922-1052, and let our listeners, let the people of Guam know what this program's all about and how they can apply, where, how, when, all that stuff, okay? Just give us a call. In the meantime, I know about the program. I participated in the program in the very beginnings, and it does, in fact, work once you qualify. They were able, it was, I guess, during the pandemic in the beginning, provided some rental assistance to me and my household. And I know, I don't know all the details, how much thus far they have put out there to the people that applied and got qualified, but it definitely works. And I was trying during the break, trying my best to get someone to give me a call or to answer the phone to get them on the air with you to let you know all about that. In the meantime, it is a Tuesday, and Taco Tuesday, you know, I'm going to get me a taco. I think that sounds good.
Indeed.
A little bit on the lighter note, you know, we've been talking about some serious stuff with the elected Attorney General was in the studio. We talked about, you know, he's got a program. It's a proposal that he has to initiate a tent city. And we had some pretty lengthy discussion about it. And if you're just tuning in, you don't know, what I'm talking about? The Attorney General is proposing to initiate a tent city which would provide a bed, a meal, a shower, and at the end of the evening, when you wake up in the morning, you go on your merry way, and at the same time, you'll be afforded the opportunity to apply for the different services that might be available to you, to include possibly even getting a job. So, again, I think that's a really cool project. He likened it, and I kind of coined the phrase as well. Not only do you get to get a meal, if this thing becomes a reality, not only do you get a meal, you get a bed, and you get to clean yourself up, take a shower, you will be afforded, again, all the opportunity to apply for all the different services that are out there to assist you. It's like a processing center. And during the discussion with the Attorney General, I said, that's a good one because the current models that they're using, they have these homeless shelters. A lot of our homeless folks, people that are in that situation, don't want to participate in that program because, for lack of another word, they got too many rules they got to follow, for example. They don't want to be told when to come in, when, curfew, etc. So this idea that the Attorney General has, that you basically get a bed for the evening, get a meal, and get a shower, and then again, get the opportunity to apply and have folks from the different agencies be there so they can intake your information to see if you, in fact, will qualify to receive public assistance, whatever that may be. It could be SNAP, it could be Section 8, it could be a job, Department of Labor type thing. But I think it's a really good idea. And we did get some, the current mayor of Barragata, June Blas, had written an article, something to that effect, saying she's not that supportive of the idea because there are sinkholes in that property in Tejan. It might interfere with the sports activities that go on at the properties up at Tejan as well. But again, it's the Attorney General said, well, it don't have to be specifically at in Barragata. It could be very well in some other property. Jokingly, we said, how about the front lawn of Adelup? It's a big property, especially if it's just for the evening. You're not going to be living there. We do have a caller?
Yes, sir. Line 1. Here we go.
Line 1. Here we go. Hi, that'll be you. Buenas. Good morning. Good morning. Haba?
Todo Malik.
Todo Malik, how are you? I know who this is. What's up? What's up, Joe Malik?
Are you regular in the morning now?
No, sir. I'm just sitting in for Patti. She's under the weather, and I'm just holding down the seat while she recovers, and we wish her a speedy recovery. What's on your mind, Joe?
Nothing much.
Okay. Are you at the ranch? Are you bush cutting or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm bush cutting at the ranch, and it's hot.
Hey, might be hot, yeah.
It is.
Okay. How about? Still got iguanas running around?
Yeah, man. They're bigger.
They're bigger.
They're bigger now.
Nothing like iguana with coconut milk.
You like that?
No, not me. I know some people do. I heard it's somewhat of a delicacy for some.
Yeah, somebody was telling me that it tastes like chicken.
Everything tastes like chicken. Frogs taste like chicken. But anyway, is it, well, you just said it's hot. It's not raining then down there where you're at, right?
No.
Oh, that's good. So, did you hear we had our elected Attorney General in the studio?
Yeah, but I was bush cutting when I was listening for a while, but I was bush cutting.
Oh, okay. Well, you're a multitasker. You can bush cut and listen at the same time. Cool. That's cool.
Oh, we have always been doing this, Dave.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, there was a story. There's a story you told me a while back at the old studios that we used to broadcast from.
Yeah.
And many people, I would venture to say, a lot of people don't know that you know and met Tom Selleck, Mr. Magnum.
Tom Selleck, yeah.
Yeah, Magnum PI. For those of you that remember that TV show, Mr. Tom Selleck, Magnum PI, our very own Joe Malik knows him. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I was on basic training at Fort Worth, California.
Yeah.
With him.
Yeah, I guess.
And he's very close with me because I went to the other platoon place or house, and we stole the broom and mop.
You borrowed it on me.
No, because somebody stole ours, so we went over to the other platoon and stole ours back.
Oh.
And, actually they stole ours, so we went back. We went over and stole our own.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like Guam, Hey, you lend something out to a friend or a family, and then you have to borrow it back.
And the funny thing is that these guys are playing cards, right, in the Foot Locker.
Yes, sir.
And I just jumped over them. And I went upstairs, second floor, and stole the broom and mop.
Hmm.
They didn't even stop me because I was down again on first floor.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even stop me, but on this stick, I fought with Tom Selleck with on that stick.
Wow. What year?
Like,
I'm just curious, Joe. What year was this?
1967.
Holy moly. You guys were probably young men.
I'll tell you what.
How about?
I was a guy. You're familiar with the guidon?
The Hafa?
The guidon.
The guidon.
Yeah, you carry the company flag, and you're the first one ahead.
Oh, the
to
guide.
Lead the company.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
I've been carrying that since basic and advanced infantry training.
Okay.
And on graduation, guess what?
Haba.
They gave it to the white boy.
Haji, si Tom?
The white boy during the final graduation ceremony.
Uh-huh.
They took the guidon from me and they gave it to the white boy.
Okay.
Mm.
Speaking of, the Caucasian, the white boy, sometimes we call them Howley. But
1965, 66, 67, remember that protest in California or back in the States or Vietnam?
Not really. That's kind of like I was just a real young guy at that time. 66.
We were instructed, we were told.
Elementary school for me.
Not to wear the army uniform when you go outside to the civilian area.
Uh-huh.
So what they do is they throw rocks or they punch you behind, your back of the head.
Yes, sir.
Because of protests in Vietnam.
Yeah, that was really, I'm glad you're bringing that up. I do recall the Vietnam, the soldiers that coming back from Vietnam, when they got back to the mainland, they weren't very well treated. They were looked down upon, It's really sad, They went out there to fight for our country, and came back and nobody appreciated what they tried to do, at least. It's just
that's why they didn't honor those veterans from Vietnam because of the demonstration that's still going on.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. It's, it's one of those, every time I hear about it, again, that's before my time, but when I hear about how the returning soldiers were treated, they were spat upon. People were spitting on them, calling them child killers and all these other stuff. And they were just doing what they were, told to do by their country. You're going over there to Vietnam and you're going to fight for democracy to prevent, communism from spreading. And then they came back and were treated like they were. It's really sad.
Yeah, but it was rough.
It was.
It was rough because I didn't, or most of us didn't know what's going on.
Yeah,
when we
so
go outside. Because the reason why I bring that up, because when I rode the Greyhound bus,
yes, sir.
Yeah, they told the driver of the Greyhound bus asked me, do I have a civilian? And I said, yeah.
Say, put it
Go
on.
down to the station and attend to civilian and not to wear the army uniform.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And as I left my army uniform inside the bathroom.
One thing I do recall, Joe, and this is late 60s, early 70s, and I was here in Guam, and I literally didn't even know there was a war going on until it was in the newspaper saying the war is over. And I said, wow, I didn't even know we had a war. Then I figure out, no wonder why they had all those B-52s flying overhead almost on a daily basis. And then I recall seeing the military buses transporting the wounded personnel coming out of Vietnam into Guam at Naval Hospital. Then I finally put it all together. Go ahead, sir.
This is how it started. You get your a letter from Uncle Sam.
Okay.
Because it's required by law, if you're 18 years old, you have to register the selective service. So the commissioner of Iran received the orders for draft, and you have to go into naval station and register, and then you have the physical.
Okay.
And then they will got you on the bus, the naval station bus, up to Anderson, and say goodbye.
Was the commissioner then, they were called commissioner, was that Commissioner Diego?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
All the military communication and any emergency goes to the commissioner. Now they call it mayor.
Yes, sir, they do. They do. I had the pleasure of meeting Commissioner Diego when I was a child.
Yeah, and you go up to Anderson and notify your family first. They give you 2 hours to notify your family, go home and inform your family that you're leaving Guam for your draft. Wow. What the military provides the transportation from naval station over to your residence, and then make sure that you get on that small van up to Anderson Air Force Base and fly out. And guess what? There's about 30, 31, 35 of us from Guam going, and we stop by Hawaii, reload for another 20 Hawaiian.
Okay.
Then over we took off to Oakland.
Oakland, okay.
Yeah. Then we got on the Greyhound bus over to Fort Hood.
Fort Hood, okay.
Fort Ord.
Yeah, I was going to say Fort Ord, yeah. I'm an Air Force veteran, but I know a little bit about the Army, and because a lot of our residents of Guam were in the Army, many of them.
Oh, because of the draft.
Correct.
That came out, and it's mandatory that once you're 18 years old, you have to register selective service.
Yeah.
Or if you don't, the commissioner will pick you up and they put you in jail.
Yeah, that was definitely before my time. By the time the draft ended, or the Vietnam War ended, I was just seventh grade, junior high school.
You see, Dave, there's 4 of us. 3 of my brothers also got drafted, and the 3 of us, I was sent over, they call it the Expeditionary Force, to Korea, the DMZ, and 2 of my brothers are over in Vietnam. So Uncle Sam decided instead of the 3 of us in Vietnam, they sent me over to DMZ.
Oh, okay. So did you ever serve any time in Vietnam at all?
I stopped by and I received the recorder to DMZ.
Oh, okay.
The reason why they sent us, a whole lot of us, to fly over to DMZ because they had problem with North Korean.
Okay.
And we have to cover a section of the DMZ. You gotta remember that the North and South Korea is 1954.
Correct.
And the North Korean are still active.
Yeah, that's the Korean War.
So they send us over to the DMZ to secure the DMZ.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is that there's they call it the Beehive, where at night they play Elvis Presley and Dolly Parton to make you homesick. And then this guy is very fluent in English. And he will announce, usually a lady will go on the speaker and say, "Oh, you guys, your wife is waiting for you, go home." Your son, your baby is waiting, your wife is waiting for you, go home, never mind.
Hey, Joe, I have a question for you. We used to have a nightclub here in Guam. It was called Club Yobo. You know what Yobo means?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know because when I was active duty in the Air Force, I had the opportunity to be stationed at Osan Air Force Base. And little did I found out what that word meant, Yobo. It's nothing derogatory or anything. It basically means a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Mama Sang.
Yeah, something like that. And, people
No,
ask me.
the Yobo is a boyfriend. Or
Boyfriend?
Yobia is a girlfriend.
Oh, okay. You probably
Yobo
know.
is a boyfriend.
Maybe they're gay. I don't know. But
No, I still remember some of the Korean, like they say, "Kanzo asipsio, come here, please." Karatsoge.
Karatsoge. Well, I know.
Karatsoge means go away.
Yeah. You know what Tangsamida?
Kamsamida, thank you.
Yeah, I know that one. I know that one.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was great when I got stationed at Osan. It was really an adventure.
Osan?
Yeah, Osan Air Force Base.
And that's down south, right?
Oh, gee, I don't even know.
The thing is,
I know they have a few bases. They got Army bases. They got Air Force bases. I was at Osan.
I think the Air Force is down by right after you pass or exit the capital. So,
I don't know. It was just all I.
Or you close by, the hotel, Hamilton Hotel, because I walk over and to the Air Force base.
Mm-hmm.
It's a walking distance from Hamilton Hotel, so I did exercise. So I walk over just to check what's going on, and that is the Air Force base.
Yes, it is. You know, Joe is
maybe
always.
That's where you at.
Yeah, that was 1980. I was there in 1980. But anyway, we're at the top of the hour, Joe. You know what that means?
Okay.
Yeah, we got to go. As Dice would say, we got to get out of here.
Yeah, I know.
So,
okay.
we are
Time for you to
KGUF.
go home.
Yes, thank you, Joe. You have a good day. Esta. Okay, the Wave 105. I'm Dave Duenas sitting in for Patti. We are KGUM Aganya.
Hagatnya Guam. The sound of Guam is Wave 105 FM.
Batteries power most rechargeable electronic devices because they can store and release energy quickly. But what if you could speed up that process? One research group is working to supercharge ion movement